What's up, good YouTube people, friends, family, countrymen, countrywomen, wolves of all sorts? What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Bad Wolf. I apologize for the room being a mess. I'm looking pretty disheveled. It is Sunday night, 8 o'clock in the Midwest. And we're doing an impromptu live, all right? Mostly because I feel like I haven't been out here talking to you guys in a hot minute. Your boy's been just dealing with normal life stuff. We got snow dumped on us. It's cold as I don't even know what. And I had to shovel because my snowblower died. Then I had to go to the backup one. So, man, I don't even know what to tell you. So, without further ado, woo! It's your boy, the Bad Wolf. It is a little chilly, so your boy's got the hoodie on right now. Some people have been asking me about the merchandise. They want to see me wearing it. They're like, Wolf, how come you're not wearing your own merchandise? I said, that is a good question. So I got merchandise ordered. It's on the way. So it should be here soon. And when it is, well, I'll be rocking it so you guys can see it. And if you like it, you guys can get some for yourself. Or you can go to my merchandise store and get your own store started. So one of the other reasons why I'm doing this is because the man, the myth, the legend, A6 is not rocking his channel tonight. He's taking a hiatus or something, so that's okay. I can't disclose certain details, but I just got out of a very awesome fire Zoom. There are lots of positive things coming your way. I've been given a lot more information, most of which I can share, but we're going to be doing it through videos. Thank you to all the people who have joined the Bad Wolf Pack. We just added a new couple of videos. There will be some more coming. We are also going to be launching the video for the passport process, the final one. Well, this is maybe the second to the final one. I'm going to teach you guys how to do what we've just been doing. All the steps included, the whole shebang-a-bang. And then we'll follow up with all the final little tidbits and details, everything locked in. I got some more information on Right to Travel. It's really just looking really good, guys. So I've been just reading lots of books. Now this is an older one, and it's nearly out of print, or it is out of print, but this one right here, How to Outfox the Foxes, 263 Secrets the Law and Lawyers Do Not Want You to Know. Now, as you see, your boy's got some cliff notes in here. Some of this information was already shared in the private Wolfpack area. So remember, if you join on YouTube, go to the main channel, and you can click on any level, which supports me monthly, and no matter what level you're on, you get all the information. I don't hide it from people like some people do out there. Also, like I told you, we'd start to get into doing the police misconduct and the filing lawsuits in federal district court using the federal rules of civil procedure, and got the law officer's pocket manual. We got the police manual on arrests and seizures and interrogations. So that is just a couple of things that we've been reading and going through, learning what they cannot do, et cetera, et cetera. So King says, is the passport video coming before the 4th of January? Aren't we already in January? 4th? Yeah, we're already in January. Making me lose my mind. The 4th of February. Maybe the video will be out by the 4th of February. It's possible. If you're getting ready to do your passport within the next 2 weeks, then hit me up so that I know when you're going to do yours. And so the information is actually already in the private Wolfpack section. So I just haven't sat down to pull the materials together. I've got all the pages ready to go. So yeah, just email me, King, if you're about to do it. But by the time most people see this video, I probably will be making the video. So if you can sit tight, give me 1, maybe 2 more weeks. I have to finish up sending out some things and making sure everything is good. I don't want nobody doing nothing crazy or jazzy or getting into trouble. So we always have to vet the information here. We put ourselves through these things. Like I said, I just got out of a Zoom meeting with 4 other people, and lots of very fire information going on. So once again, what's up, King? Malcolm, appreciate you. Magazu, haha. Thank you guys for jumping in. I see we got like 16 people already in here. Thank you for just jumping in. I'm normally not out doing this on a Sunday because usually my guy's got his and I'm usually on his live. So this is an A6 grind time takeover. So, he doesn't want his normal 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern position. I will slide in there like swimwear. Oh, yeah. So sorry the room is messed up. I got clothes and everything. I just ripped out the carpet in my hallway, and may or may not do it in this room. Carpet is just trashed, shot. Too many people used to rent this room over the years, and it's just Victor Von Doom. What's going on, brother? Peace to the wolf. Peace to you and yours. I might open the gates in a little while, maybe after an hour, and get you guys in here, get a couple people in here. As always, if I don't have you guys on, don't take it personal. Something just beeped. I don't know. Is it my phone? I'll find it in a minute. I'll dip off and go find it. Not a biggie. People can wait. So what else is up? About that. Okay, so for people who don't know, like I said, I don't put people's business out there, even though, yes, we have been having successes, which is why I'm to say we've been having successes. Why? Because we've been getting people's statuses corrected, either with the passport process or the MyEVerify or the SS5, all these things that we brought you, most of those things we brought you guys first. And we've learned that there is more to learn. It just never stops, guys. What's going on, Wesley? Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me, man. I talked with one of my first people who was, I got a handful of people who've been around since the channel had about a couple of hundred people. And they're still around. So thank you for all the old school people around, the new school, and the brand new people. You guys are also welcome here as well. We've been doing, man, let me tell you, I've been getting, your boy's been putting in a lot of work. So if I look tired, that's probably why. Housewives, your Oprah Winfrey TV show watching types have been reaching out to me. I'm stepping them through the process so they can get their own channel. I might have a introduction for people who are just getting started. Might do a live or a video for that, just so that they can help me to reach even more people out there who don't know anything about this. It's not scary. You don't have to fear the system. You do have to do some things correctly if you want to be taken seriously. Let me see. Do I have any little tidbits laying around here? So one of the big things that we learned about Right to Travel is that it is paramount. Sorry, I got some fuzz on me, looks like. It is paramount that when you do the process the correct way, that you put your vehicle in a trust, a private trust, a foreign trust, okay? Paramount, especially if they don't want to remove you from their paper jurisdiction. using the vehicle registration, surrender, or termination form, the driver's license. Now, this is if you want to do those things. It ain't for everybody. So that is one of the things that you want to do after you do all the other rest of the processes the correct way. For the people out there who are doing the CDL or have a CDL, you can only do private right to travel with your personal conveyance. I'm also on Rumble. Yeah, I think it's Rumble now. But I don't know if they're going to upload all of my videos because I've got a lot, apparently. So I want to send a shout out to my people over there at Knifeback Official. I think they're on Instagram. Thank you guys for the support. And a couple shouts out to Vision, Truth Decay, Stephen, Thorpe, also You Are Law, the Lighthouse, and a couple others. So some of the thoughts that were in the background is that people are like, well, where else can I send my status, especially an ecclesiastical claim, you know, which is supposed to be one of the highest claims out there. Well, we've been sending ours to the Vatican. Okay, so yeah, you can send it to them. They're supposed to be the highest church in the world, so send the church your church claim. All right. Let's see what other little tidbits we got going on here. Some people who are doing the authentication, Tribe says to the Crown. Yeah, you can send it to England. You can send it to the Brits and whatnot. They're supposed to be the ones operating the jurisdictions. So I've also heard the City of London. You can send it there too. Remember, the City of London is actually, well, its own thing. It is not what you think it is. So peace, love, and treaty to all those nations and heads of the world and whatnot, and private jurisdictions and micronations alike. To all the old money families, peace and greetings and treaty from the nation of Levitica to yours. Remember, guys, at the end of the day, it's all good business. So some people have been doing the authentication process. Remember that people have been, the state possibly may not have your info depending on if you were born abroad, if your parents never registered with them. You can always send them your information to register yourself with them if you want. You do not have to, but you will then be creating a negotiable instrument bond, which won't probably mature for another, 18 or 20 years or something like that. But it'll be there for your children and your children's children or whoever and whatnots for your estate. So if you're doing the authentication process, remember, use the drop-down window. You want to go for legal, full description. If they have an other box you want to put in there for legal purposes, weight, height, signatures, all information available, and that should help get that done. Also, another shout out to Chief out there, Chief Gold. Appreciate you. All right. So we just did a video recently on the land patents outside of the one with for Ron Gibson. He still has this, little trademark on that. So reach out to him. The information's on that particular video. You can just look up Ron Gibson, James C. Lovett. He gives you his email address and a direct phone number, so you can call him. So what we did was we showed, and I'll just do it real quick, how Jared, what's going on? Aloha. Tribe says, can you break down some words for us like promulgated undertakings and amalgamation meetings? Well, off the top, amalgamation, it just means to combine things from different places into one. But yeah, I will look up promulgated in 1 second. So I'm going to do that. Present. I think I still have. Let me see if I still have it up. My God. Treaties. Okay, I don't have that one queued up and ready. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Bureau, US. So how's everybody doing out there? Where's everybody hailing from? Let me know in the comments. All right. Now let me get back to my screen. Present, share screen. All right. So here we are on the BLM. All right. So the Bureau of Land Management. This should be I've gone right to it, but I'm trying to show you guys the long way. Click land records. Okay. Once you get here, then you're going to go down to check out the GLO, the General Land Office records. Once you get here, you're going to go to land patents. Boom. All right. So the short version is here, we'll just use Florida, any county name. Let's see. Let's type in Lovett. Search. Huh. There are some Lovetts in Florida. All right. Did not know. Now, oh my God. Even back in 1854, Lovetts were down there buying land. Okay, this is part of my genealogy here. Didn't even know. I know they were Arkansas and Louisiana. All right. So when you're here, all right. Here, let's maybe I can do it like this. Pop me in there. All right. So when you're here, all right, 1 sec. Okay, you're going to click on the, here, hold on. Get to the right one. It's not pulling up. All right. So, yeah, here you're going to click on. So you went to the BLM, Bureau of Land Management. Once you go there, you're going to go to the GLO records. And once you're there, you're going to click on land patents. Like I said, I just chose Florida, use my last name, search. And all these records on Lovetts who owned land back in 1883, 1854. So I'm just going to click on the first one here where it says extension. Okay, so now they're going to, if I click over here, the little box, little drop or little check box, it will then take me right to where the Lovetts bought this land. Okay, so here they bought this little tiny square. This block was the original land that was ceded from the government to the state. And this box here is the one that they bought. Okay. So if I go up here to patent image and I click it, it's going to take a second. They're pulling records. Boom. Here is the land patent, the ancient old-timey old school original one here where it gives you full rights for all of in perpetuity. So forever, your own. Yeah, that's so crazy. All right. So that's how you pull it. You can click add certified copy to the cart, get a couple of them. They're cheap and they will mail them to you. You have to mail this in. So that's just a recap on the land patents. That's how you get it. Now, how to file it, I don't know yet because Ron Gibson says you have to file it a proper way so that you don't mess it up and get into trouble. But now you guys can at least get your own copies. All right, so let's see. We'll use the newest edition, and you wanted to look at, was it promulgated? Go back up. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me know where you guys are hailing in from. What republic of what area? Where you guys at? Remember, you guys can see me. I can't see you guys, so you gotta let me know what the going on is. Property prime. Okay, promulgation. Promulgation. The official publication of a new law or regulation by which it is put into effect. Promulgate. To declare or announce publicly. To proclaim. To put a law or decree into force or effect. Administrative law. To carry out the formal process of rulemaking by publishing the proposed regulation, inviting public comments, and approving or rejecting the proposal. So there you be. All right. Let me check in the comments here. All right, what's going on, Don? Peace to you. Freedom First. Malcolm. So we got somebody in Minnesota. Melanated God. Anita from South Carolina. Hey. Jared, Big Island baby. Zelle Send, Ohio. MA is from Big Island. Empress Vicky. Wes is in Panama City, Florida, and Lady Arlena is in the Berg, Florida. Okay. Cool. All right, so let's see, what else do I have for you guys? All right, so here we're going to do a little self-promotion or whatever it's called. Blacksite32.com. All right, so now we're going to go to share screen. All right, so hey, we're on Blacksite32. All right, there's your boy. Saint Frog Dog says hello. Stanley in Oklahoma. Empress is in Wisconsin. Okay. Midwest. Victor Von Doom is in Republic of Ohio. The Draconian Empire. All right. Let's see here. So what I wanted to share with you guys is that on the free docs, this used to be all the documents we had right here for you guys to look at. And now we have more free business trust manual, the lawyer's secret oath, the Universal Postal Union, UPU, babies without a social security number. How do you do it right here? How to bring a justice to judges, Affidavit of health and life. Yes, we were charging for it. We are now giving away for free. The Nuremberg also goes with the health document. Another one to have. These are all free now for you guys. The DS-10. All right. So the United U.S. National ID Affidavit. All these files are now up here for free. A fee schedule. Form 56. 1041s. 1099. The 2848. 3949. All of these are up here. Another fee schedule. Evidence of an injury. Demand for payment. Notice of default. And we got more. Indemnity bond template. Notice of acceptance. Payment bond. Attorney, what was it? Power of attorney. Request for authentication template for the, this should be for, on the federal level. SF 1414, 1416. The W4 template. Will and trustee. Definitions. Some, oh, what is this? Dismiss cases. Little information might help you there. Stamp Duties Act. Sui Juris. HJR 192. Foreclosure defense. Judge Dale. Canada. What is the solution to all your problems? It's in their jurisdiction, but there's a lot of good information on there. And a police script. Questions and rebuttals. All right. So we brought you guys a ton more of files for free. All right. MA Freedom says, receive my 4-star passport. And that's what's up. So one of the viewers informed me that they got their book. And in the new books, educational information only from your favorite non-belligerent, non-combatants. What's going on, West Virginia? Keon. That with the book, you can take a black light, which I had one in here. I don't have one in here now. My son probably took it. You can use a black light on the page edges and see how many stars you have in your book. Educational information. Do your own research, vet your own knowledge. I don't care if you're watching my channel or somebody else's, always vet their info. Anybody who doesn't tell you to double check their own work is not, either they're cocky or they don't believe in their work. Because if you believe in your work, it can be time tested, tried, and retried again. Often tried, never denied. You know what I mean? So Empress Vicky says, hello, Mr. Lovett. What do you recommend for us to use to make our own forms? Well, if you really want to know, the best way to make your own forms is handwriting it. A corporate fiction, a straw man, a nom de gore, war name, public transmitting utility, private or public trust. None of those can handwrite. None of those can handwrite in cursive. Those are always a trait. Well, even though they got handwriting fonts now, but handwriting in pencil or pen, especially a color like red for the sovereign individual, even though I don't really like that word, but red for the ruddy red color of the living man on the red soil. Gold is for divinity. Purple is for royalty. So yeah, handwrite it. There's no law that states that we as the beneficiaries and the grantors, if you will, of the trust cannot do that. We gave them the power. We can do it ourselves. They may not like it, but inform them I'm doing this privately and then I'm not a public trustee. I'm a beneficiary. I'm speaking to you in private. This is a private matter. Email is usnationalpassport@yahoo.com. It's also on blacksite32.com. What is your advice for veterans who want to proceed with this process? Well, for veterans to do this, click your heels 3 times. What I mean by that is when you were born in your state, you were born on the republic of that land mass. So it starts in here by you knowing that you are a state citizen. A state citizen is somebody who was born on their republic of their land mass. You were not born in the state of Florida or the state of Maine. You were born in the Republic of Maine, the Republic of Florida, sometimes referred to as Florida State, not state of Florida. Those are different jurisdictions. So if you're born in Florida, you are a Floridian. Being a Floridian, you are under the Constitution for the United States of America and the Union, which makes you a national and party to such, which makes you also a national of the United States of America. That's where it starts, that piece of information. Everything we've been doing with the all capitalized lettered name brought us into a foreign company called the United States, which is based out of Washington, D.C. But who owns Washington, D.C.? It's not a state under the Union. They've been trying to apply to become a recognized state for their reasons. Then explained. So once you know that information, then you understand that you became a 14th Amendment citizen only by use of that mask, also known as the straw man. And when you use it, you're putting it on, then you've got that as a way of conducting a life, which you've been doing your entire lifetime. When you take it off, now you see who you really are. So that's where it starts. From there, you can do as much or as little as you want. I tell people you do not have to do everything I talk about, somebody else talks about. That is not what makes you a state citizen and a national. It starts here. Once you know that, you're good. Now, from there, if you want to change certain ways that your entity navigates, then yes, you can do that. But you do not have to do anything more than that. Anything from there is optional. You can even get a foreign EIN or a domestic EIN and operate that way. South Carolina. All right. Who else? Fred, what's going on? Woo woo. Empress, what? Making our own application? Yes. I've contacted many of these agencies. There's no law against you making your own application. I have not done this, FYI. I have not created my own. That's what I was going to do too. I have not created my own passport application and submitted it, though it is supposed to be valid if you do, as long as you have all of the pertinent information. Yeah. How about that one? Elkanah says, interesting. Has anyone tried using their heirloom birth certificate from the state when applying for the passport? If you mean the certificate of live birth or the original baby feet one, yes, many people have done that and gone through me. I haven't because I don't have the baby foot one. I've got a COLB. But yeah, if anybody has done it with the heirloom version, let us know. You know, and heirloom by itself done, however, or heirloom and you've done it the state citizen way, let us know what you got. Good, bad, ugly, stars, something special. Yeah, let us know. Anybody who's any tidbits that have been vetted, not some guru's information, something has been vetted. You've done it yourself, you've seen it. You can always, or you have an inside tip, you can always let me know. And if it's something I can share that's not above a top secret clearance, because I'm not trying to get into trouble, because we have a nice partnership going on right now. They know who I am. I know who they are. Hello to all the various departments. Thank you for keeping us safe and making sure that commerce is done properly. As always, peace, love, treaty from your neutral diplomat from Micronation Lovitica. Horace says, child support is killing me. Well, there is a file that you can get from my website that provides education that you will probably find most interesting. And if you want to do a consultation on it, we can do that too. It's all entertainment and education, and you will find it also interesting. We don't condone anybody doing anything wrong. I never will do that on this channel. Nothing that will get people in trouble. Empress says Illinoisian. Yes, or Illinois State, Illinois. Correct. That is your nationality if you were born there. Deanna says hi to everyone. Show support to everybody. If you guys want to talk in the comments section and promote your YouTube or your business, as long as it's not risque. I don't recommend sharing emails or anything like that. I'm not responsible for any of that. But if you guys want to talk and link up info or Telegram groups, or if you want to meet in mind, the information is going across right now. That's Bad Wolf Unincorporated. Unincorporated means non-federal, non-state. PMA is a private members association, which is what most of these things fall under. Silent Walk says, howdy, folks. Fragrance Place says, we need to come up with a new bill of exchange and promissory note template, Wolf. Those are always done by you, and you should always create your own so that it's not copyright infringement on somebody else or one that's already in existence by whatever entity. You just want to make sure you have all the basic UCC information and an offer of negotiation in it. That's it. You can get that in the Uniform Commercial Code book. Doesn't cost that much right now. Let's see what else we have on deck. All right, let me page through a couple of things. All right. That's kind of a long one. I don't want to do that one right now. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a goodie here. Now, I was going to make a specific video on it by itself, but because we're doing it live, let's just take a gander. Present. So check this out here. So this little form, this little form over here is a interesting little bugger. This is the Form D-4A, Certificate of Non-Residence in the District of Columbia. Now, some of you guys might be asking yourselves, why would I want to use this? Now, because it's education, I know how to use this. You have to use your imagination or look into certain things as to why you would want to use this. But of course, you know the Wolf, I will give you guys some insight. So let's just review the form and see if we can figure this out together. So why would you want to tell them you're not located in the District of Columbia? Why do they even have this form in all actuality? I don't have a certificate of non-residence in Arkansas form or in Florida form or Minnesota form, you know? So what is this? Okay, your name, your social, temporary DC address if you have one. Nope. Permanent address. So wherever you're located. For me, I personally wouldn't put in a zip code because I'm not in DC. Anything outside of DC but's related to DC or an extension or territory of DC has a zip code. So city, your country, signature, date. So who must file a Form D-4A? If you are not a resident of DC, you must file, I don't know what they got on here. You guys need to update your form. What is FLEA? Anyway, this form with your employer to establish that you are not a subject to DC's income tax withholding. I'm just reading what's on the document. This is their stuff, okay? You are a service member spouse. You are a permanent resident outside DC during all of the tax year, and you do not reside in DC for 183 days of the year. Employees who are residents, okay, of DC, FLEA, filet mignon, Form D-4, DC without holding allowance certificate. What if your residents change status? So if you become a DC resident, you must file the D4 and become a taxpayer. How do you file the D4? After completing this form, give it to your employer to keep on file. Oh, they forgot an I, so that's a file. Okay. So, all right. Let's see what we got in the comments. This might be a dumb question, but do I have to do an affidavit of name correction before I do an affidavit of status? No. Put the name change in the affidavit. You should be sending out one affidavit all in one. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Empress says, wow, okay. Amanda says child support is illegal. No. Here's where I have to be on their side. So let me put on let me put on the man's hat. Hold on. Let me put on my fib hat for Federal Bureau of Interesting Things. Amanda, so I hear you believe child support is illegal. Well, I am here to tell you that child support is not illegal. What child support is business, and it's commercial. And whoever signs it, and both parties do need to sign it, then it's just business and it's contract. You willingly signed it. Did anybody put a gun up to your head and force you? Nope. Did you register your child to the state of, which is a for-profit corporation? Yep. Okay, then you are allowing Child Protective Services to be involved in your children's affairs. Child support is not legal. It is a business. If you wish to get out of the business, then you need to review your contract and talk to somebody who can provide you some education on how to potentially educate yourself in such a way that you can challenge things or cancel the contract or find out how much your debt is and pay it off for various means. No legal or lawful tender will be refused. Back to being the wolf. So yeah, I personally feel that child support is illegal on the way that they set it up, but that is entertainment talk. All right, Connecticut Republic. State Department sent my affidavit of sovereignty back when applying for the passport. Okay, well, if you sent them an affidavit of sovereignty, let me tell you how you messed up, DM or DWM, because one, when you're applying for the passport, they do not want an affidavit. You can create your own, but you have to title it explanatory statement. I would recommend mine, but if you want to do it free or whatever else, then yes, do your own version and title it explanatory statement. Next, you have the word sovereignty on there. They don't like that. Okay. Next, they will sometimes return it because depending on which area you are sending it to, they do not want all the extra paperwork. They have made a scan of it and they are now returning it to you because that file is considered to be state citizen private property. So they are returning you your property. MA says, I did the moonshine method, thanks to my credentials and authenticating friends, got 4 stars. Yep. I personally know Colonel Vaughn Wilson of Copper Moonshine Stills. He sends his people to me now. Apparently, I am the foremost expert in the passport process outside of the Department of State. Did not think that, but okay. I know more than most. Why? When I see other channels out there copying my info and using it, some as their own and some actually give me kudos. So thank you to those people who appreciate it. How can I verify I'm on the do not detain list? Well, if you send in your stuff and they did not reject you and you have more than 2 stars, you are on the do not detain list. But how do you verify that? Well, there are some cops out there and sheriffs who will run it for you for free, especially if you're doing something they don't like. Not that I condone that. You can ask them. You can do a FOIA on your passport application, which I have done on mine recently. So I'm waiting to get that back for specific reasons. Other than that, that's it. It's done. If they didn't reject your the way you've done the form, you did it right, you're on the list. I'm still learning here, but I've been reading UCC and How to Free Yourself from Tyranny. Is that a good start? Yes. It's a very good start. Just starting. The God says just starting. Awesome, awesome. Welcome to the pack. What's the best way of going about getting my passport? I guess I could put the comments up here. Sorry, just reading them on the side. Well, you guys can see them too. It's whatever. So to do that process, you can either go to blacksite32.com. I now have the full process listed out there with examples. Some of the courtesy and congrats and appreciation goes out to Colonel Vaughn Wilson. So I know some of you guys who know him personally watch my show. So you can tell him, thank you. I did use some of his information. Thank you in advance. I now have it, or you can go to Copper Moonshine Stills and scroll all the way down on the left side, and you will see the Copper Moonshine method, which is very similar to mine. It's where I got my start. Other people like Yusuf El and whoever else also got their start with that particular information, with that particular site. All right. Do you have any information on credit? I don't really have anything necessarily written up, but there's a lot of different aspects of credit that we could talk about. So, but we could do a private consultation. Like I said, it's kind of wide. There's a lot of things we could talk about. Suggestion on buying a house. Is there any way outside the mortgage process or cash process? Not that I've done. And the ideas I have on that would be education, and we could possibly do a consultation on it. But in buying the house itself, I would create a trust. I would create a private trust before even putting the house, before getting the house, and buy it in the trust name. Queenie says they won't accept my bill of exchange at banks. They say they don't or can't process it. Especially not on the lower levels. You need to go above them. You need to talk to the bank owner or the vice president or the CFO of the bank. Try to call them. Try to call the highest VP you can and see. They do not have to. They know they know what we're doing. They want to hold all of the taxes. Yep, we got some stuff on taxes too. We can talk about that in private. I made some videos on tax, IRS, tax secrets, and some tax stuff. Tax liens we go into a little bit. Some banks do take them. Bank of America knows one. PNC is another one. So some banks will work with you. They're all good. Not all of them are bad. You know, we'll call Smells Wargo one of the bad ones. Why are you saying I'm bad? See, this is why I got the name Bad Wolf. It used to just be the wolf of, almost like the Wolf of Wall Street, but they will give you all kind of stalling because they want what you have, but they don't want to pay you anything. They don't want you to be able to confirm that information because it's considered private. So they want it, and they can get into trouble for if they don't do things properly or if they don't return it to you. Hey, thank you guys so much. Oh, here we go. Empress says taxes are illegal. Oh, yeah. Time to put on my agent hat, Mr. Agent Man. Nobody cared who I was until I put the black hat on. Now, this is actually a true story in the city and areas I used to hang out with, and the various clubs and bars and establishments. Nobody cared who I was until I put the hat on, and nobody could see who I was. And then I would go dancing and buying out the bars and clubs and the restaurants, talking to the owners. Then everybody wanted to know who I was. It's amazing. It's interesting. Kind of like when you put on the right public transmitting utility mask or straw man. So taxes are illegal. Empress Vicky, I'm here to tell you that taxes are not illegal. Problem is you do not know how to properly do business in our jurisdiction. It is just business. The IRS, whose headquarters are in Puerto Rico, it's a private bill collector, debt collector, and you have not filed the correct paperwork with your employer. You have not set yourself up to operate privately with a 98 number or a foreign trust or an unincorporated association or an FBO or a PMA. It is just good business. If you wish to learn more about how to do good business privately as a non-taxable entity, a 508c1a, and whatever else, I suggest you see a qualified individual, ask the right questions, and get educated in such. But they are not illegal. Congress, by means of the people, gave them the authority to collect said debts for taxable 14th Amendment U.S. citizens, which are taxable corporations within their jurisdiction using the zip code. Pay your taxes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I really don't care for taxes either. That's why I've transferred most of my things into non-taxable things, but I still do have my strong man, and he is a taxable entity. Though we are waiting to hear back if the SS5 process changes that. Wish you had a contact email, and yes, child support is illegal. At no time did one give consent. Yes, you did, Crazy Squirrel. When you registered your child by the birth certificate, sorry if I'm hurting people's feelings. Not really. Love you still. But when you got that birth certificate from your state and you checked off on that Social Security application, you allowed them to transmit your name, your child's name, into a legal taxable entity. That's where they got you. It's a contract. It's not illegal. You just don't know how to move right. No disrespect. And no time did no one give this consent. You gave consent the moment you used that all caps name. I bet you $1,000 you have a state ID or a driver's license or a birth certificate in their names. When you filed your 1040s, you admitted on the bottom by signing it. You are a taxable entity. You made those declarations, my good people. This is why I have the channel. If you do not want to do those things, then you need to revocate the contract. Like I said, enforcing the bill of exchange, that's a little bit more difficult. If they've kept it, you can talk to the SEC. You can also whistleblow on them with the IRS. I just made a video on that. That's a little bit more tricky to get out of paying Medicare and Social Security. I did make a video on that. It's a lengthier process. I'm not going to go into it here. You can talk in private, or you can just go on my site and pull down those videos. I think I just made them within the last 2 or 3 weeks. Hard to believe I'm in error about child support. No, my good man, or squirrel. I'm not at all. I read the laws and codes. Do you? No disrespect, but it's not illegal. It's not illegal if you sign the agreement. Now, if you did not sign for child support, any of their things, then it's illegal. Then it's fraud. It's business. If you registered your child, sorry, I did the same thing too. Why do you think I'm here? It's to get people out. So I'm not in error. You can ask the courts. That's why they don't like me teaching you guys this stuff. It's because I know what is legal and what is not, what is legal and what is lawful. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. How about this? Let me ask you this, crazy squirrel. Has a judge ever asked you to join them because you beat their prosecutor in the hallway and you got them to terminate your cases and my stuff has been dismissed? I have. I've gone toe-to-toe with these places. I've had them sit outside my house. I've had federal agents call me. Have you? I've had sheriffs contact me. I've had police officers ask me about this information and to change their process. I am not one of these gurus out here. I live this life every day. So sorry if it offends you. Sorry if you feel some type of way, but feeling is not protected by the Constitution. And if you want to, you know, I mean, just saying, if you don't want to deal with it, then contact your boy. I can show you how to not deal with it, you know, but to say I'm in error shows me you don't really know what you're talking about. No disrespect. Is the World Passport better than the regular one? No. The regular one we get from the Department of State Travel Division is the supreme one in the entire world for public. The World Passport is one that is issued to the public, but it is essentially private, which means some countries will take it, but not all of them. So if you use one, you better take your other one too. Because if you go right to the World Passport site, it says on there, these are the places that take it. But what they're not telling you is that there are some places that don't take them. And you will be in the long line with somebody putting on the glove. So, yeah, stay on point. Thank you, Empress Vicky. Wolfpack is A1 on point. Yeah, if I'm talking about it, I know it. If I'm not talking about it, then I'll say, yeah, I got nothing. I keep it real. Everything you guys have should be put into a private trust or an unincorporated association. What do I need to do for consultation on unincorporated business? Hit my blacksite32.com, hit the fee, then email me after with a screenshot if you can. And then we will set up a date to do that. Or if you want to do it on your own, I've got the faith-based organization file on blacksite32.com for purchase as well. James, love the name, of course, and appreciate you, man. Rosewater, why are you always laughing at me? That is a good way. Yeah. See, you guys have to understand. I'm trying not to sound like Yusuf L when talking to they said you need to be a financial institution. Okay, well, aren't you a private creditor? Do the SS4 process, turn yourself into a private creditor. Well, you're a private creditor, but you can do a UCC1 to become a secured party creditor. Or you go to the IRS website and you list yourself as a private banker. Here's a goodie. Ask them if they have the exclusive rights to being they can only be financial institutions. And how I'll leave that for the private talk. But there's more to that. If you want to do a consultation, we can talk about that. But I just gave you some fire information that many people have used and been successful. You can also take your instrument to a bank and ask it to have a bank medallion placed on it. That's all I will say. For a small fee, you'll be surprised what a bank will stamp and certify. Lots of documents can be certified. All right. I'm just a madman in a box. Found out you had a passport process after I sent in. Maybe I could have gotten 5 stars. The stars, when you do the passport the correct way, you are on the do not detain list. The stars only mean it's harder. This is our theory from what we've seen, just guesstimations, that the process when you do it, when you fill it out the right way, gets you on the do not detain list, because the card and the book are separate identifications than your local police departments. That's the secret behind the passport process. So unless you do it as a U.S. citizen completely, then you're in their jurisdiction if you do it that way. If you do it the way we show, which was pioneered by Colonel Von Wilson of Copper Moonshine Still, so hat goes off to him, literally, then you're on the do not detain list. You have a completely separate identity with them to use. All of those departments are not interlinked. Most of those police departments are for-profit corporations, all right, operated by a board somewhere. So the stars 4, 5, and 3, 4, and 5, we believe the third one is a mix of jurisdictions, meaning you're a part of a U.S. citizen, part a state citizen, or national. 4 and 5 just mean that you are harder, we believe, or more of a kind of like a diplomat in the process. But don't get hung up on the stars. I do not want to see people getting all like, oh, I only got 3, 4, 5. All right. So don't get hung up on that. It just means that we believe it means you're you're harder to arrest. But the passport itself, when you do it the way we show, 3, 4, or 5, you should be on the do not detain list. These are the things that we didn't know when we first started. We were guessing. Now we have, I will say, more proof by having lived it, and hundreds of people contacting me and saying this is what their experiences were. So it is a educated guess from the stuff. Nobody will ever find out what all of them mean because they're considered national security. They don't want us to know all of their business. And well, for certain reasons, I agree that we shouldn't know everything. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll reveal some of that stuff at some point in time. I don't know. Probably not. Will a credit union do it more than a traditional? The lower level people don't know what you're talking about. I walk into the bank all the time. And they pull me into the back room because they want to ask me how I know more about their bank and what they do than they do. And they've been working there, basically living there. You have to get in charge. You have to get in talk with somebody in charge, like the bank owner, the vice president, the CFO, one of them. You have to understand these things that you guys are talking about are not for 14th Amendment U.S. citizens. The average person who walks into the bank, they don't know what you're talking about. Just because you know what you know and they're not illegal, they don't know most of them don't know what a bill of exchange is. They don't know what a promissory note is. Now, the people in the back rooms, the people who are in charge of these things, oh, truth be told, they've been doing nefarious things on our taxes. Yeah. Now, here's where they've been doing some illegal things. Yes. The business itself is not illegal. What they've been doing with some of our money and funds has been illegal. And our money has gone places where we don't even know. Vicky, the reason why, and it's all good, I have to bring it to you guys that way so you can understand the game and how to deal with them. If we get it in our minds, you guys are just illegal, you're fraud. No court in the United States or in the world will convict them on them being illegal. They're not. They have a legitimate EIN. Okay, so they have a business EIN. They have a Dun and Bradstreet. So they're not illegal. Illegal is if they are mimicking something already in place that somebody else owns. So let's take the IRS, for instance. You want to say the IRS is illegal? No, but how could they be? Well, the government, which owns the Internal Revenue Bureau, all right, see what they did here? They're trying to mimic, but what do they call the service? The Internal Revenue Bureau is owned by the government, the federal government. That's who, if they say you owe taxes, you owe taxes, period. The Internal Revenue Service is a different agency. There's a difference there. You can look them up. Internal Revenue Bureau, Internal Revenue Service. Aren't all services optional? If you know how to, but if you've already contracted with them, now you've got a contract that you have to get out of so that you don't have to deal with their rules and regulations while in the contract. So the Internal Revenue, whatever their name was before that, they mimicked the Internal Revenue Bureau, but then they changed the last word to a service. Now it's not the same. Now it's just bootleg. Off-brand, we'll call it. Off-brand. So when am I making the video, Tony? Within the next 2 weeks. I said about February. I just have to finish 1 or 2 more things, and then that will be sent out. No. You don't need to change. You can change your ads if you want. You don't have to. Contracts written. I haven't written in quantum syntax grammar, but according to a federal judge off record, educational information only, the syntax grammar does have power. That I can say through back channels. How to not pay taxes forever. Stop using your social. Get a EIN as a unincorporated association or a 508c1a or a private trust, and name it your same name. And now you're operating in the private. USCC, that I'm not familiar with, or IRS. How can we donate? Any of my videos will always have donation information at the bottom. My emails have it at the bottom. Blacksite32.com have it at the bottom. People can join the Wolf Pack on YouTube, my main channel. And all right, JD sent 99 cents in. Thank you for the love. Heck yeah. People think I'm kidding when I'm like thanking people. Oh, it's only $1. Yeah, it's $1 that you worked for that you gave me. So thank you. I still pick up change on the ground. I'll see a penny, I'll pick it up, dollar, nickel. I'll put it in my son's piggy bank or whatever else. Heck yeah. Property partition, no. I'm not versed in that. I have to keep it honest. How to have your business not pay taxes, not pay for your business, tax for your business. Yeah, same thing. You can close your business, or it's called a dissolve or dissolution. You can dissolve your company, reopen it back up in the same day with the same name, either as a foreign trust, private trust, unincorporated association, faith-based organization. Process for buying the home in the private, I have not gotten there yet. I've heard some things, bits and pieces at this point in time. I don't know anybody who's done that successfully. And if somebody has done that successfully as proof and they want to share it with me or on the show, let me know. And we can talk about it. Any good resource for me to read or watch unwind a mortgage? I'm willing to do the work, but I can't pay thousands. I get you. So what I would do, Ben, is use all the free resources you can. So if you haven't gone to mortgageauditsonline.com, Sean Adley gives free files on it, free samples on it, all of that. I mean, there's tons of information. Message him, email him, and say, you want any free information you can provide. You can talk to him for free. I'll put up his info. I definitely get it that, you know, most people charge way more than he does. He charges, it's roughly about $1,000. And then if you mention me, you get a 10% discount on anything that's, you know, purchased. But yeah, I get it. Like I said, that's why I do this channel, is to be able to show people how to do things either for free or cheap if possible. Thank you, Dylan. I will do my best. I will try to always stay in honor as a non-belligerent, non-combatant, and bring you guys stuff that you know, that we can use and you guys can use. No, don't be. You know what? I don't know. I heard people say Yusuf say he liked me, and then I heard some people say he doesn't like me. I don't really know. I don't really care. It's cool. I don't have any animosity towards anybody. I just remember when he had his other channel and he was really more so calm. But I get why he's gotten a little gruff with people, because when you're asked the same things a quadrillion times, it wears on you. But the thing that you have to know is that if you're going to teach people, you're a teacher. And then that means that you're going to answer the same thing thousands upon thousands of times. So for me, I try to never be gruff with anybody, because people legitimately don't know. And I say like this, I might say, I've already answered that question in the video, so go check it out. Or I'll say, if you want that answered and more, hit me up with a consultation, because you can ask me the same things a million times. If you're paying me for my time, then for that hour or half hour, whatever it is, I am yours. Whatever you want to know and I know it, I'll give it to you. That's how I work. I don't hide the information, you know. I've changed my status and filed. All right, what do we got here? I also have correct passport. Okay, so yep. As long as you do as long as you fill out the paperwork correctly, you got your status. That's it. There's the status and the stars are two separate things. Does an ANC offer any protection? ANC, I'm not familiar with that lingo. Sorry. If one rescinds the suspended driver's license, cancel it, can one then reapply? You know what? There might be like a 6-month period where you probably can't, but then you probably can. I might have something. Well, remember, I also made a video on how to get a DOT number for your vehicle. I might have something for you in the private. So if you want, we can do a consultation if it so fancies you. Yeah, might have something there. Well, if I got arrested last year for driving while license revoked, no insurance, no tag, no signs, whether my skip right papers done, where do I begin to go after the agency? Okay, so that would be the full version would be in a consultation. But if you were driving, let me say this correctly, if you were traveling and you are within 1 year, you can still take them to federal district court and sue them for deprivation of rights, 1983, code 241 and 242. If you were driving and you did not have your stuff pulled out by use of the driver's license surrender form and the vehicle cancellation form, then you were still driving, and it's a valid contract, even though it was suspended, we'll just say. So they have a right for that, but there's still ways to discharge and get rid of those debts and things especially if you were traveling. Before it came, I got the card and the book issued from the state, which before it came from DC. All right. Where are we at here? Okay. Yeah, I think we covered that one. Yeah, no problem, dear. You got it, girl. If the bank said twice that they don't accept them, then they don't accept them. They do not have to accept them. There's no law that says that they have to accept yours. But let me say this carefully and correctly. As I don't know how you created yours and what was said, when I've done some in the past that were not done by the letter of the UCC, it can be construed as private currency or foreign, and then they may not take it. But if they don't want to take it and you're paying a debt, then tell them by the UCC, which they are also under the jurisdiction of the UCC, that they are denying you a payoff of a debt, and that is discharge. So look up UCC discharge and rejecting a UCC. I would also be a secured party creditor before doing a promissory note. There's merit behind that. Do a UCC 1. How do I authenticate a birth certificate without a license? The state shouldn't need you to a license to authenticate. You're paying them. They don't need that. I've never once asked me for that. And the Department of State does it with the DS 4194, the federal level authentication. They don't need that, or even a passport without re-registering. Passports, after they're expired, are still good for 5 years if you want to renew it, or you can get a state ID. Federal Reserve notes are nothing more than promissory notes. Yes, they kind of have the inside tracks when doing business inside of their maritime jurisdiction, but promissory notes are not illegal. If you read the UCC, they're saying, so you have to make your claim. If you do a UCC 1, okay, and you put on the promissory note that you are a secured party creditor, and that, or you create your own private banker association, then they really, you're adding things into your back pocket that makes them not be able to say that they can't take your notes. But if they refuse to do business with you, all corporations have that ability. All private corporations that are open to the public have that ability. The government does not have that ability. They have to do business with you. All right. The Dawn sent in $5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Correct. Yep, Empress, you are correct. If the bank has not returned it, there's a lot of things. It depends on if what kind of registration number did you put on it? Is it trackable? Did you check? If you did you go on GMEI utility to see if they're exchanging it? If you did, then you can contact the SEC, the IRS. Even if you get a state ID, you are still under the contract of state. Yep. It's a different division, but you're still underneath the master umbrella. How do you fight tickets in the camera? So well, in that particular case, there's more to it. But a piece of it would be to say, who has firsthand knowledge that I committed this offense? Who actually seen me? They would say the camera. Okay. Does the camera have a written complaint against me? No. Okay. Well, then who does? I'm waiting on my IPP ID. Jared, you need to email me. I need to know what you did, and I need that as soon as possible. I need that information. Hit me up. We can work out an exchange of information. I'm working on that. I found some information today. So you are ahead of the curve, my good friend. So email me. Let me know. We need to holler. You need an EIN for a 508? No, you do not. A 508c1A is a private faith-based organization that does not have to have, members. But if you want to expose your 508 to doing business, then yes, you would need an EIN, and you obtain it underneath the 501c3, but on your paperwork, you put 508c1a. All right, super sticker, JD, 99 cents. I got 99 cents and one more penny ain't one. But thank you for supporting, man. I appreciate you guys for real. How do we get rid of the deep state? Well, not individually, off the record. Educational information only starts with everybody learning what's going on. And if you mean the deep state, yeah, I don't think that's ever going to go anywhere. But if you're talking about the maritime jurisdiction, unless everybody wakes up, and right now we have less than 1% of people in the entire United States of America who know this information. So it ain't going to go anywhere. And, you know, you might not like what I'm going to say, but there are a lot of things that they're doing, some of which we know is dirty, but some of it is keeping us safe on levels you can't even understand. So do I really want them necessarily to go away? It's kind of like having an uncle that kind of beats you up a little bit, but he won't let anybody else beat you up. Okay. So all I'm going to say is that there's levels to it, but we'll just say this, there could be some reform. Okay. And there's a lot of things that there are certain levels of things out there, factions, we'll just say, that are doing things that, yeah, not great. But once again, it's the uncle who beats you up, but make sure the other bullies don't beat you up. I would set up a trust before. See, all I can say, if you're going to buy something like a house or a car, you can do what you want to do, learn your own, vet the information yourself. Knowing what I know now, that my straw man is a trust, and that everything that I've ever bought was in that trust until I transferred it into my own private trust, I will never transfer anything into that trust again because it's theirs. I might control it, and there are ways of more so operating it, but it is their entity. And so I will not put anything into it. I will form a trust first. That way it's private. And if it's private, it doesn't have to be registered. It can be recorded. You can't force me to register my private property. Constitution says so. America. That is definitely one I can't. There's a lot of variables to that, but it's going to definitely involve talking to the Department of State, potentially revoking the access or ability you gave them to use the passport, and contacting them on some potential child abduction. But if they're in a Hague, they should work with you. If they're in a non-Hague, the country may possibly not work with you. If you start your own micronation, you are your own nation. You are de jure, but you are technically not a part of the United States, but you have the ability to be here. So you would need to include the United States as being either where your nation is located. Okay, mine is located within its own self, but it can be found within the United States, but it is not of the United States. So you can write that up in your micronation. Mr. Hollins, what's going on? Is that my 1300, Mr. Hollins from college? Yeah, Sean Adley is on. He's probably getting he's probably really busy, but if you can't get a hold of him, he will give you a free rundown. He will send you free paperwork to study and learn. I mean, the guy, he was in the mortgage, in the banking, all that stuff. He knows their goods. He cannot make promises just like I can't. Mary Bell, how you doing? But let me tell you this. Well, I guess I'm not under an NDA, at least at this point in time. When you get the proper paperwork and you send it off to the various agencies, let's just say I got a call this week. Things are moving. The man knows his business. He's good at it. Can I authenticate my birth certificate from the United States and claim US? So you want to authenticate it, the birth certificate from the US and claim US. So you're talking about you want to bring it from the United States and bring it into the US corporation? You want to reverse it? Then you would apostille it or apostille it. Yeah, you can bring it back the other way. A lot of people make their own, and this is one of the processes we talked about here first. You can create your own or use their form, which is a DS-10, and you can bring it into the US by getting it authenticated, or you can USA and getting authenticated, or you can bring it into the US Corp for reasons to prove that you have the ability to do your things by means of getting it apostilled or apostilled. Assume name certificate. Oh, okay. Yeah. You can do an assume name certificate. You can also do a, if you're doing the passport, well, that's a name change. You can always do a common law name change on your own. Or on the passport process, it's a code 08 for an assumed name. Victor Von Doom, my man. What time are we at? An hour and a half. All right, a couple more questions, and then I'm going to bring in some people. I'll drop the link. People may or may not be selected to get in here. Don't take it personal. I just want to make sure I get the key people I want in here. If people have something unique to share and experience, then you can be brought in. You may or may not be notified before you're removed, depending on what you say, or if you're too long-winded or it's not useful. No disrespect to anybody. Yep, there you go. Any form of a custodial stop is a deprivation of your rights. Well, if you say, call Sean, I'm doing it tomorrow. Does he review the contract for me and then the signature front? Watch the videos. Not for free. He doesn't do any of that for free. He will give you paperwork on the fraud across the board. He will tell you what he does and how to identify some of the fraud and some tidbits. And he's got extra packets that he can provide. Trust me, it'll be worth your while to give him a call. After turning your name into a 508 C1A, how would one operate as far as a driver's license? The 508 can get its own driver's license. What is your opinion on CPN and SPN? If you can find a legit CPN, it is good. I would get it right from, if the IRS can provide it for you, a new one or a protective one, then cool. If not, then I would just get a business EIN from irs.gov, put your name in there and use that. Build credit on that and have two different lines. I've heard a lot of people getting burned by CPNs that weren't legit. Some people were actually, I seen a guy on a video showing how to do your own by checking it, putting in these numbers by the area, and then putting it in there, and then go, oh, well, that must be a legit one. I don't know. I don't know if you can use their bank of numbers. I'd be careful. I would just open a business. Basically, it's the same thing, and you can control it better and make it tax-free or not. I have heard about the QSIP reporting and getting a case discharged. I have not done it. I've heard about it, and if somebody has done it, I want to know about it. So I have heard that has worked. Yeah, we talked about syntax grammar a little earlier. Yes, I have through a mutual friend, a federal agent, educational information only, that confirmed that it is legitimate. Yes. I will give you this. A lot of the things that people are doing, they're having problems because they have not set up a private foreign trust. People don't understand the jurisdictional things that are going on. If you're using Federal Reserve notes, if you're trying to get credit, you opened up your bank account and said you were what? A U.S. citizen. Think about it. If you look at the top center and then to the center of the card, top, and to the right, no, to the left, excuse me, left, you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 horizontal black asterisks or stars. The pension, I don't know, that might be considered a benefit and a privilege of the U.S. System. So I'm not sure about that one. I've never thought about that. The pension, I'd have to look into it to give you an honest answer. Yep, a living trust is good too. Yep. Yep. Also, Frog Dog. Yep. You can get an international driver's license, which is different than an international driving permit. You do it before. Yeah, you can do that. Yep. Get it before yours expires. And the passport agency accepts it. Really? I didn't know. Okay. That's good to know. I think we got him covered. Appreciate you, hip hop. Marvin Earl, what's going on? Yay. Is a state national Z tag worth getting, Wolf? So usually it's broken up as a state national doing their own plate, which you are allowed to operate in the private. If you're talking about a Z tag or more so a Z plate, like a European. So a Z plate is a European, the long, skinny ones. And you can get them off of zplate.com, I believe. And yeah, you can get those. Lots of people operate those. Heck, when I buy my new car, well, it's not new. I ain't making that kind of money. I buy my new used car, hopefully this week. I might put a Z tag on there. You can use it and claim. And it comes standardized that you're either from Germany or Switzerland or whatever. The only thing is, if you get bothered, they'll say, well, oh, so you're foreign. Yeah. Well, you're not a resident here? No. So you don't live here? I don't have to answer those questions. I just told you, look at my plate, and I'm telling you I'm foreign. Are you trying to get me to contract? Yeah. If I give you this information, could it be used against me? Fragrance Place, thank you for the $5. Make you holla. just teasing. Unless you're into that kind of thing. Yeah. Haha. Melanated God, laughing out loud. Y'all always be laughing. Leroy Eldridge. Why is that? Oh. Okay. All right. What else we got here? Melanated God. COVID. Nice. Hey, how you doing? I'll just call you CVD. I don't want to say the C word too much, you know. What's up from Gotham City? David, are you in my basement? Have you seen my my bat cave? Jackie, to verify it, we covered that. You're going to have a cop or a sheriff run it, your passport, or do a FOIA with any of the agencies on any of your information that you've submitted to them. I'll tell you this, you can sometimes reverse engineer it. If you contact the Immigrations Department for U.S. citizens, do a FOIA request asking them if they have any information on you being a U.S. citizen. They will most likely say no. And now you've got something proving that you're not a U.S. citizen, which means that if you're allowed to be here lawfully, then you got to be a state citizen or national. Or contact your mayor, your downtown city mayor. He should be in the Republic, and ask them if they have any forms that they issue for citizens of their state, meaning the Republic. Nasera Jacera, Yes, I know about that. I actually did some videos on that. Yep, sun is right. That I'm not versed enough in to really answer that one. What comments? And let's hide that. There it comes. All right. Oh yeah, we dropping gems. Yeah, feel free. Oh, yeah, I don't think I know that one. Like I said, I know a lot of stuff, guys, but I definitely don't know all of it, so I apologize. Subscribe, share, hit those likes. Let's get those likes up, please. Got your QSIP. That's fire. Yeah, somebody was telling me they know a guy who can get you a QSIP number. I don't even know enough about that. I know what it is, and I know what a little bit behind it, but I do not know all of the goodies behind it as of yet. Do you have a video on what might be the best order to file your forms? Not necessarily. Anybody who gives you a list of do this, this, and this, they're showing you their way, which is not bad. It's just it's a way. It's a you can literally file almost whichever one you want. You don't have to follow someone's specific way. How do you set up a foreign trust? The foreign trust is based. You can go to Rocket Lawyer and get a basic one done for $0 or $20. The trust is based on where you say it's located. That's the jurisdiction. Well, first you have to create your 508 and then have the 508 apply. Yeah, it's not really private. That's something I more so would have said in the private versus public. But yeah, you can get one there. But then again, remember, then you're exposing your trust or your 508 or whatever to the public side. But we'll just say this: in California, I've heard education to the grapevine that if you do that, you will actually get a specially recognized plate. And that's all I know about that because I have not done it myself, but I've heard from a number of people. Oh yeah, that's the boys and their toys. Cash, the best way to create a trust, Rocket Lawyer. Or you can go to my guy's channel, Fearless Floyd Show. He does it. Also, my cousin does his own thing on Knowledge Well Media on YouTube. They do charge, but usually my cousin will usually discount it if you tell him I sent you. Floyd does his own thing. All right, little info. Thank you, Small. Appreciate you. All right, let me see here. All right, so Victor Von Doom, if you are still out there. All right, let's see here. Anybody who's got good info can jump in. Let's see. Back me out. I don't want to go there. Boop. Get out of there. Squish that. All right, so I'm going to drop the link in the comment box. Sorry, I'm trying to get to all of them, guys, but 200 versus me is kind of a lot, or 166 at present. All right. So remember, if you want to get in, you're going to have your video and your audio on. So there, the link is in the comments. It's a trust. It's taking a long time because everybody is doing these processes. They are backed the feezy up. They are so backed up. They never expected. See, they've been billing us for this kind of stuff and whatever else. And running a skeleton crew now that we're actually pounding them, if you will. They're not ready for the amount of traffic. All right, without further ado, it's Victor Von Doom. Let's bring my boy on in here. What's going on, big brother from another mother?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm living the dream. All this snow we got here.
Yeah.
My neighbor and one of my other guys and Fearless Floyd were laughing at me because I told them I literally bought a riding snowblower.
Wow.
I was because my little corner here does not play. I've seen city garbage trucks, 3 of them stuck in front of my house.
Yeah. Well, you have some engineering skills, yes?
I do.
I'd say it's time to build a robot snowblower.
Bro, I'm crazy. I literally was plotting on putting a V-shaped plow on the front, snow chains on all the tires, and a flamethrower, which I have in the garage right now. I don't play. I go Mad Max. I'm psycho when it comes to this kind of stuff, man. You guys see how I do with this info. And I can't talk about all the details, but I was at a private consultation with some movers and shakers today. And let me tell you, they were giving me a lot of kudos. They're like, we see you, we see your work. So that really meant a lot that people know the kind of time and dedication. So let me throw this out here. So people joining, you may or may not get in, but if you don't have video, they're not. It shows devices not connected or not supported. So you're gonna need to show your video. Sorry, I know some people want to be mysterious, but we've got a lot of people in the waiting room. So if you got a video, you'll be able to get in. And we're bringing in Small. What's going on?
Oh man, I wasn't expecting you to.
Oh yeah, we don't play around here. What's up?
What's going on, brother? First of all, man, I want to say, man, thank God for you. Thank God for you and everything that you do, for all the inspiration that you've given to our people, man. I appreciate you tenfold. I was wanting to know if it would be possible for me to set up possibly a 1099-A with you so I could purchase all of everything that you got. I want to purchase it all at one go just to basically get all the tutelage I can possibly get, as well as all the documents and everything. I want to see your website is very straightforward. Everything, the way you got it laid out, man. You got to be, I'm sorry to say this, a complete idiot. Idiot top. You got to be a complete idiot top. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be a complete idiot to not realize what you're doing for the people. So I was wanting to know if it would be possible for me to purchase everything using a 1099-A.
So I haven't set up to learn how to accept them and then process them. I know it sounds weird because I do know a little bit about them, but we can set up alternate methods. Just email me. We can talk in the private. Like I said, I don't like to put business in the public, but I got you faded. There's multiple ways of like I said, I do barter. I do take other currencies, crypto, this, that, and the other. And so email me and we will handle that. Like I said, we always make it happen. So definitely. I got you covered, brother.
I appreciate you. You're going. The email is going to be coming from official Mashai Small at ProTime.
Okay. Yeah. Just send it. Say, hey, this is so-and-so. Like I said, I've had people send me files. We exchange files. We work out some kind of thing where I'll be like, hey, can you do this for me? Whatever. Like I said, we get down, man. We get down. Like I said, my whole thing with this is, as you see, my prices are not that expensive. I know people are different backgrounds, but at the same time, I've been there. And so one of the things I didn't like about some of these gurus, which is why I'm like not a guru and I shy away from a lot of them, is because they don't want to answer emails. They don't want to work with you. You're supposed to be somebody helping the community and the United States of America, but you don't either have time. And I'm only one person. I handle over 200 emails a day by myself. You know what I mean? Every day, Sundays, even when I'm off. And then these people have groups. They've got people working for them to answer emails and to do things. And they don't want to budge. You don't want to even barter, whatever. So like I said, we'll work it out. No problems. Consider that already done. And thank you for all the things that you do and you have said, and you have, I already know how you move. So thank you for things seen and unseen, heard and unheard, man. Because it's because of you guys that this stuff gets put out there to people who trust you and say, hey, check out what I'm doing. I learned from this cat. And same with Victor Von Doom, all of you guys. You know, it takes a village, you know, to make this happen. Hi, Miss Lady. We see you over there.
I didn't realize I was on camera the whole time.
We see you, girl. We see you.
Thank you so much, brother, for everything you do, man. And I'll just tell you before I get off the screen, man. Like, I'm not sure if you already have something like this in the making.
Okay, hit me.
You know how the Bible has books, like the book of John and the book of, you should definitely start writing your book, like because this is biblical in itself, and biblio by definition means book.
Right.
So I definitely suggest you start writing like everything, like every journal entry that you ever go and put it together in a book, man, and prepare to leave that for your generation to come and for the generations that will definitely need your expertise in different things.
Man, I feel you. I appreciate that. That is divine sent. I've been thinking about it. I've been so busy with consultations and trying to get the information out for you guys. And this to me is my video book, because I thought about writing a book at first. And I was like, no one's going to just know who I am to even want to get a book, even to read it. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it in the past. It's marketing is just a nightmare for that kind of scenario, but people will watch. Even lazy people will watch, you know what I mean? And busy people will take a moment out to watch. And by the way, Ben, you're on. You're on. Hey. But I will definitely start doing that. Thank you for reminding me that that is something I should put into play. So I will definitely start my little voyage on that. Meanwhile, this channel and Rumble as a backup channel and the Bad Wolf media channel are my backups, my video books, and use them as such. Use them as such because, like I said, I've lived this. I've been doing this, learning this stuff since I was 9, doing this stuff since I was 19. And like I said, not trying to be cocky or anything like that, but we'll just say highly successful, because we're moving back into the private. The private is what made the public happen. We are their bosses in private status, but standing. But if you don't know that and you're operating, like I said, I wasn't trying to get at squirrel, but it was, you're asking and saying the same things that, like, you're not getting it. And it's not a disrespect thing. It's you don't understand. So listen to what I'm saying. If I'm telling you this is not illegal, it's not illegal. I started off thinking all of this was illegal, and it's not. You have to understand that everything you use with that all caps name, which is a public transmitting utility, which is a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, a corporation that they gave to you, you went to them to ask for it. They gave you something in their jurisdiction to control you. If you don't like it, revocate it. Open up something new and stop using what they gave you. That'd be like my creep. I don't have it, but maybe I do. I don't know. But that's just like if I had a creepy uncle and he gave me a T-shirt that says, I like to touch his butt, but I get to go and get free stuff from him. I should stop. I should take the T-shirt off and stop getting free stuff. Get my own stuff.
Right.
Stop using the name. Stop using the legal name that you gave them. James C. Lovett is a legal entity. My mom gave them that name. They turned it into a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, a mask that some people wear it so tightly to their face, which is alter ego, meaning you believe that you really are that all caps name, but you're walking around saying, I'm not the mask. I don't have a mask on. You guys are wrong. All of this is illegal and fraud. It's not. You just don't know how to operate in it. I do. Yeah. I've had the governor of my state literally send me a letter saying, I have no statutory authority over you. My hand to God. Now, I've had judges ask me to join their side. That's what I was trying to tell them. So please tell me. I've had government agents contact me. Yep, you're teaching it right. I wasn't sitting here scared or nervous. They know exactly who I am. They watch my channel. I've had sheriffs, police officers, people who work in the White House, all DOD, FEMA, all of them. have either done a consultation with me. So when people tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, you go toe to toe with them with your feelings and see how far you get. I'm going to address them from the private side. Let's see who's got better results. You know,
if I may chime in here,
respectful, just keeping it real.
Yeah, I would say that your book is already in the writing. With all that you've just said, all right, you have many books out there already. Trust me, you do. And as as one that has his own nation, from one nation to another, yeah, we have record of you as well. So you may not have time to write your own book right now, but oh yeah, you are on record, not just with us. You're on record with a number of other people. So
thank you, brother.
Yeah, that story is being told.
I will definitely say that I am humbled, and I will always stay humbled. You guys are the power behind this. I am just the face at the tip of the spear. I've done these things. I've talked to them. I've talked to these people in private. I've talked to owners of businesses, bank people, presidents. I have no problem sending any of them a letter. Here's my number. I've had I won't say the bank name, but I've had the vice president call me personally. So, like I said, but I'm trying to teach you guys how to move if you want to move in the private. That's the biggest thing. I'm not here to take anything away from any of the agencies. It's all business. They do business. We can do business, but we need to know how to do business properly. And we need to know how to do it in the private and or in the public, not mixing. Okay. No matter what you do, it's either me doing business over here in the private or me doing business over here in the public, but not mixing the two. You can't. Those cannot be mixed. The living cannot be mixed with the dead, separate jurisdictions. So it's getting you guys to understand those paths. A lot of people are over here in the public and they're trying to jump to the private this way instead of bringing it back here to the center spot and then going out. So like I said, it's just once you understand what's going on, then you can move. The living being, the soul within us does not have a jurisdiction except for under by God or whoever your faith may be. And then from there, you're willing out, either going into the public, going into the private, going into international jurisdictions, but you need to know that it all comes back to here, to center point. And if you allow them to give you a governmental name or this or that, now you can grab one of those and use it to represent you. But if you assume it's you, like alter ego, then you can't be mad. It's not fraud because they gave it to you to operate and you don't know how to operate it. So, but I open up the floor. So Ben, go ahead, jump in there. Introduce yourself, say your piece, say what's good, and hit it.
Right on. Yeah. My name's Ben. We all know that by now. I ran into really weird. I'm not a social media guy. I never have been. I'm not really big on YouTube or any of those things. And I just so happened to be at work, stuck out on the road in a hotel, killing time. And a man by the name of David Lester Straight came across my feed. I don't even know why I opened the video, but I did.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
Yep, no problem. I watched that first video and it was like I could not get enough. I was searching every single video I could find on this guy. Now, I don't know what you guys know about David and Bonnie Straight or what you even think about them. And I guess that's kind of irrelevant. What really matters is they opened my eyes to something that was going on in the background. I'm 48 years old this next month. I've been a great slave. I've worked my guts out my whole life, hard labor, made decent money, paid my bills, paid my taxes. And I got looking and listening to a lot of these videos. And then, of course, I never take anything, at face value. So I'd go back and verify this stuff on my own time. And sure enough, these guys are telling it to you straight. Wolf's telling it to you straight. There is a ton of fraud going on behind we are basically the equivalent of being human trafficked. It's by the government that's supposed to be representing us and looking out for our best interest. So of course, the more I dive into this, the more I get into it, I'm like, I've got to join this. I got to do something about this. I wasn't meant to live this way. This isn't the way God intended for us all to live. And so I dove into that process. I've corrected my status, as I was telling Wolf earlier. I've corrected my status, filled out those forms, had them recorded, got the passport, authenticated the birth certificates, filled out the Form 56. I'm working on land patent stuff, and I'm looking at some other things, but I'm kind of learning as I'm going. So God bless you, Wolf. This is mind-bending stuff, and I am just trying to freaking turbo cram it down my throat. I'm telling you, I wake up and I open the books. I go to sleep listening to your videos, and that has been every day for a while now. So I'm just trying to quickly catch up. That's where I'm at. I don't know if you heard, Wolf, because you stepped away for a minute. What?
Yeah, I heard you. Oh yeah, I have a small house. So.
Hey, small houses are good to clean. They're good to clean. So, what do you feel? And you can answer this or not answer this. It's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just give me the pass if you need to. But what's your opinion on the Straits? Are you?
You know what? And this is not me sounding like a politician. I've heard, I'll say, more good than bad. But I have heard some not so great things. I don't know them personally or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I mean, people could say that about anybody. I mean, not even everybody loved Jesus, and he walked on water and cured people. You know what I mean? So I know I don't stand a chance. I will say this: most people love me. I mean, I'm very rarely rude to anybody, but if somebody comes at me, you can catch the teeth. You know what I mean? But,
right.
So everybody's always going to have something to say about somebody.
And I agree. The only reason I ask is because I tend to gravitate towards certain personalities. And that's why when I found you a week or two ago, I'm like, oh, this guy's legit. This guy really resonates. And that's the way David was with me. So I've pretty much been following his Freedom Bundle.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I haven't, I haven't heard a whole lot. Like I said, not a lot. Some, even in the comments, some people are saying, oh, I thought they were rude. Everybody's always going to have a different experience. There is no 100% good, great, or whatever. Right. But if you're getting a passing grade, say, 80% for me, then that's probably means that some people will just have a bad experience with you.
I was just curious because he recommends Ron Gibson very highly. He's pretty quiet about talking smack, I guess I could say, when it comes to shooting arrows at other people in this sort of venue. I don't know who his circle is, and I just wondered, Wolf, you sound a lot like he does, but you've been in it obviously longer than he's been out in front of the public. So I just wondered if you knew of him and if you agreed with what he.
Most of us, and I hate to say it like that, but I've been told apparently I'm in the top group of this now, at least in the top 10. Most of us have all heard the names, and because we will watch each other's videos. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like, King Guru at all. Like I'm no different than any of you guys. Really, it's just that for me growing up, my pastime, was martial arts and then learning this stuff. Right. Those are the two things I did all the time, you know what I mean? And so for me, I got into spirituality and esoteric, but it was all basically the same kind of this stuff that nobody really talks about. So I never thought anybody would ever really want to listen to it. But also remember this, I hate to show my age here, but I am older than the internet. Okay. So back in those days,
Me too.
There was nobody to you were at the party drunk or, hey, check it out, man. All right. So there's a way to get out of the IRS paying taxes. Man, you lying. You know what I mean? So now that we have a platform, it's crazy because I see some stuff that I don't want to say I don't think people should be making videos of, but what I will say is I'm amazed that there is a niche for everything out there. All right. But just to sum it up with him, like I said, I personally have never heard him say anything negative about me. I don't say anything negative about other people's channels. I will just say, I don't have an opinion on that. I will keep it, like I said, it's I don't have a personal experience, but what I've heard, but see, that's hearsay, you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
yes, but from what I've heard from other people that they are more positive than not. Definitely one of the people call them a leader in this stuff. And I have not heard, there's people out there, I won't mention their names. I know a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, we'll just say. I know some people who are complete rip-offs and people who rip off I shouldn't say rip off my information because I put it out there for everybody to have. But let's just say this. I know some people have channels who are making a lot of money who've contacted me in consultations to get them out of their problems.
Right.
But yet every day they're on there talking like they do this stuff.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, as far as I know, yeah, they're good to go. I wouldn't have any problem somebody, you know, meeting them, talking or doing a collab or whatever. I've got no problem. Anybody positive I would talk to, you know, whatever. So yeah.
I was just more curious as far as your opinion, right? Because that is what it is. Everybody's got their opinion. They're entitled to that. But like I say, I try to stay on a good guided path because this is all new to me. I'm learning as I'm going. And so I just wondered what your feelings were. I feel like you're a straight, solid, honest dude. You speak a lot of the same ways as he does. You're very kind, generous. You don't throw a lot of mud, I guess. You know what I mean? You don't get into the gutter on things. And I just wondered what your beliefs were as far as how closely they related to his, because I feel like there's a lot I can learn from you, but I got to tell you, I got started on a couple of wrong paths, just like we were describing. You know what I mean? And I had to kind of back up and go back to where I took that right or left-hand turn and get back on track. And so I thought I'd ask you right up front and just kind of feel the waters here.
Yeah. Nope, I'm very honest. I don't hide or lie anything. Anybody can ask me about anything. I was raised by a single mother from the South, and she was very straightforward, very hardworking. Her name was Ella Marie. And God bless her soul. And she told me to keep it right. Don't do wrong by people. And if somebody steps up and they want to get it, give them the full business so they don't come back. But in general, be good to people. And even if somebody does get over on you, try to turn the other cheek, because then they can't say that nobody ever didn't trust them or give them some money or try to help them and leave it at that. Ever since I was a kid, I was in Boy Scouts. I became one of the first people at a young age of color to obtain an Eagle Scout. So not to sound cliche, but I've never left those issues characteristics, and but am I an angel? Good God, no. But at the same time, put it this way, nobody ever got the business who didn't have it coming after being warned numerous times. And if somebody's on my radar, I will put everything on hold to make sure that you understand that I'm going to throw everything at you and go after you so slowly you're going to think it's a career. Because that's how I play. Not to be vindictive, but if you stepped up, you want the business, here you go. You wanted my attention, you have it.
Pack a lunch. Yeah.
Yep. But
hey, I got the 1099s. I don't mean to take up all the time, but the 1099s, I think those came into my view. Actually, I think it was a video that I was watching of yours. Are those still relevant in today's terms? And that's speaking in regards to if you're a person that's corrected their status, filled out the Form 56 and filed that with you, are those relevant for debt discharge? Not purchase. I'm not interested in. Yeah. I live a good life, but it's a simple life. I'm just looking to free myself.
I'm still learning about all of the intricacies of all of them. I've sat on the phone with the IRS. I know there's other people out there who've made their channels very big on that. I've heard lots of horror stories. So I won't go into much detail on that. But what I will say is that from the IRS, it was the A is an acquisition or abandonment, and the C is a cancellation. So, yeah. So from the way they explained it, now I'm not saying that they're lying, because we all know how these agencies, and especially the low-level functionaries, can be, that where you have spent money, okay, and we'll just say this from the U.S. citizen perspective, where you have spent money, you can 1099-A or see them. Okay. And you are entitled to a percentage of that back. So they can be used for various things. Once again, acquisition or abandonment. With these people, I tend to tread carefully because of how they talk and because of your status. And for me, I'm a little bit different than you guys. If I do some of those things, guess who they would love to be like, gotcha. Okay. I have to walk slower than you guys can walk. They'll let 20 of you guys go.
Yeah, you're a bigger fish.
Wolf pops up. It can be a damaging thing, and I'm not doing that. I would prefer to walk three feet and not find a landmine than 32 feet and get the kablooey. So when I tell people out there, if you guys have done these things and you have vetted it, bring it to me, show me. I will verify it with the various heads. And if they say, yeah, we can't find anything wrong with it, this is what I do. I get the agent's name. I get their name. I get their division. I get their number. When I talk to somebody, I'm very polite. Hey, how are you doing today? Oh, how's the weather over there? What's your name again? Okay, great. Do you mind if I get your agent number just for, make sure? Because I know you guys can record the calls. So I'm just doing my bit to make sure we're all on the same page. Yeah, no problem. Okay, great. Who are you transferring me to? Great. What's their name and their employee number? Awesome. Record it, all that stuff. Now, should they ever try to come to me and say, oh, you didn't do, no. Or I talk to people who, I have in place that I've got a guy who's gone toe to toe with all of them. And I do mean like on some cloak and dagger type stuff. Like they set up a whole fake office to meet this guy because of some stuff that he knew how to do. And all the people there were pretending like they didn't know who he was. And he says, look, tell so-and-so that I'm here for the meeting. Otherwise, we're done here. And then I won't go into names or other details, but he said a vault door, like on a bank, opened up and they brought him in there, they gave him, they gave him the business. They locked the door behind him. It was serious. It's very serious.
No video, no audio, huh?
So for me, like I said, I make sure they know everything is education and entertainment, non-belligerent, non-combatant treaties with them. I send all my paperwork off to let them know who and what I am. So, like I said, I have to be careful when a new process comes out and everyone's like, oh, I just did it. And then I start grilling them. Well, did you really do it? Like one lady was like, oh, yeah, I did the 1099. I got the car. It's, blah, blah. And I was like, so it's in your driveway? And she was like, well, no, I'm waiting for it to go through. Okay.
Run out there and let's take a picture of that.
Here's the thing. You have to understand, there are proper ways to use almost everything, but did you use the proper information? Or did you correct your status or standing? There's variables that you have to know. So for me, yeah, I'm a master at the passport process. Even Colonel Von Wilson of Copper Moonshine Stills, he's the GOAT. He's the legend.
He's the pioneer.
And we talk almost every day. I've helped him out with a lot of stuff, and he sends people my way. He's like, this guy is the one you want to talk to. He's like, no, talk to this guy. So, but that's because I've been doing it since I was 19. I've been on their naughty list. I literally had them, Mr. Lovett. We are very what? What do you? It's entertainment. Were you not entertained? So when a new process comes out, whether it's mine or anybody else's, the love of God, I would tell you guys, vet the information. Call an agent. Make sure that they go, because right now I could pick up anyone. I got a stack of files right here. I could pick up any one of them right now and go, all right, so this is how you guys pay off your house, your car, your mortgage, your best friend, your uncles, your neighbors, all in one fell swoop. And do you know how many people right now, because of my reputation as being someone legit, would just do it and wouldn't even vet me? Which is why I tell people, vet the information, call it. And you know what? If the agency says, yeah, that's not how that's done, you know what? Even if 100 people are doing it, I'm not.
Well, and it's like I was telling my wife earlier, Wolf, I'm the kind of guy, I'm Mr. DIY, I guess. It's just in my blood. I want to do this myself. Now I'm gonna need help along the way, but I want to gain my freedom myself. And for two reasons. I think there's an appreciation and a satisfaction that comes with that can't be granted any other way. And then also I want the education, because when that guy comes and knocks on the door, or somebody shows up with a threatening presentment or something, I want to know how I stand my ground and protect my family. So I'm doing all this myself. I'm even doing the land patent myself, and then I'll probably have someone like yourself or Ron Gibson review what I've got, and I'll be glad to pay for that. But I really want to go through this process, and I'm studying common law, constitutional law, UCC, USC, all that stuff day in and day out. I am reading this stuff like it's a freaking comic book, you know,
it's amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
Yeah, and it's just I'm finding the more I read, the more it opens up an understanding. Maybe not in what I was hoping, but maybe, you know, for the land stuff, for the mortgage stuff, or the private to public stuff. I mean, the more you read, the more you start to understand this. And it's just invaluable, priceless.
One of the things I learned, and first of all, it would probably, if you wanted, probably like you, me, and maybe Ron Gibson, or definitely Ron. I'm not versed. I know how to find the patents now, and yet I do not know his process of how to properly file it. So that I'm hoping he will either, you know, let me know, or maybe he wants to keep it to, I don't know. But it's something I'm working on. But like you, it's good to get your feet wet, have a piece, and then go out and vet the information and dig it up for yourself, because you're going to know it so intrinsically.
Right.
That's what happened to me. I've been ripped off. I have an IQ of almost 160, and I've been scammed before, because it sounds good and you have to pay to get if you want to go more. So I did. And then I was like, oh, this is crap. Or, oh, well, I can see how that could be scammy, because that's not what I do. I have never scammed anybody. I will never start. I don't ever want to do it. No. But to go back to part of what you were saying, one of the interesting things about when you said if they show up or whatever else, and I've had plenty of people who've done certain processes who've gotten the knock. And I said, here's why you got the knock. Because you're about to pierce the fifth wall. The fifth wall, anything past the fifth wall is considered, now you're interesting. Okay, and you're putting things in the application and you're getting it right. If you get it wrong, they don't need to come in and bother you, because, you know, well, they're like, keep telling people how to do it the wrong way, and that makes us money. Cool.
Right.
Jail time.
Well, no,
cool.
You're getting special appearances to your house. You're definitely making a name for yourself, and you're definitely probably right over the target with whatever you're in the middle of. But can I ask you a question about your traveling in? Oh, sorry, did I interrupt your story?
I was just going to finish up one part first.
Sorry, go ahead.
One of the things I learned from one of the guys who went toe to toe with them, and also from reading lots of case law from the Supreme Court, is when you're doing these things, and this is I'm going to try to say this the correct way, and I think you guys understand the power of it. When you're doing these things, and you have an understanding, because it all starts with jurisdiction, no matter what you're doing, saying, you have to understand that first, period. Yeah. And then you commence these things, and you understand, let me say this correctly, you overstand the information by your level of comprehension, and you did it without, you came to them with clean hands,
right?
Meaning no intention of doing, then it makes it nearly impossible for them to find you at fault.
Right.
I said a lot of things there without saying certain things, but
you did.
So in your processes, if you can stand on why you believe it is this way, you're good.
Right. And always stay in honor, right?
Yeah. But be careful, weary of we'll say false wolves out there, or false gurus.
There's plenty of those.
Because there are some people who have admitted to me that they were types of agents, that there are, in fact, information that is put out there that is made to lead people astray.
I believe it.
Some things are definitely by interpretation, you know, and your comprehension of said information.
Right.
So I focus on not so much the whole try these processes and make a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. I work with things that I can stand on, which is discharge. Everybody here has probably had a bill at some point in time that they couldn't pay, didn't pay, or whatever else, and it went away. It didn't go away. It got discharged.
Right.
So if they can do it, we can do it too. You just have to know how to do it, who to contact, what to submit.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, I was just saying.
Well, I was just going to say, Wolf, I know I'm meeting you here for the first time, and you don't know me from the next guy. I mean, other than our just short conversation, but I don't want anything for free, but I've worked my whole life to continue to pay a bill that looks like it's never going away. And then I went and refinanced, you know, to get a better rate and cut the term, I guess you'd call it, down to a 15-year term instead of a 30-year term. So of course I'm paying more and whatnot. I got reading these documents, Wolf, and even with my limited knowledge, with just a little bit of research I've done, I see problems all over in this mortgage that to me look like it's all but admitting fraud. And so I guess my thing is we all want money. We all want a nicer car and all that. I really just want the fraud to go away. I don't mind going out and earning a few bucks for the nicer this or the nicer that. I'm cool with that. But to tell you the truth, right now where I'm at, I would love to start discharging some of this fraudulent debt just to take a little bit of the load off, you know, that stressful day to day, go out and grind. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
I don't want
the mortgage fraud, go to my guy's website, mortgageauditsonline.com. Pull all the free files he has there. Free consultation. Obviously, he does provide a service for a fee. But I'll tell you this. Everybody, well, let me say this correctly. I've sent a lot of people to him through the channel, and he's been doing this for years on his own. He's been in the mortgage business, the banks, all that stuff. So he knows what he's doing. They're all trained, they're all licensed, all that good stuff. And he wanted to give back. And so this is his way of, when he found out the fraud that was going on, and when he found out what was going on and he didn't like it, he created this company, which there aren't many companies that do a Bloomberg level third-party securitization audit and have the credentials like he has. So 5-star rating that guy has with the BBB. He's fire. I don't put anybody on this channel to talk about a process or whatever else unless I have vetted them, and I am captain anal when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I'm not going to have anybody play with my reputation. And even a person who I had on here at one point in time before, there's a couple of shady things in their background, and I'll just say you have to understand the situation. But I had to remove that and them because I don't want that attributed to this, because they will try to use the worst thing. And I've had people look up my record. I don't care. I don't have anything major on there except for like speeding tickets and OWI, and like a few basic tickets and whatever. It's all taken care of. 100%.
We've all made mistakes, man. We've all made mistakes.
Yeah. Or more so, we all get stuck in the fly trap that they lay out for us. Most of those things are not, if it ain't criminal, it ain't,
Right.
But I always have quality people on to share who are also in this league. One of the guys I reached out to him to see if waiting to see if I hear back from him, is a decorated former police officer.
Okay.
Who now advocates for these rights and freedoms. And I've done a little bit on some sheriffs, but I really always wanted to have an actual cop. Even though I've done this for cops, but they want to know it, and they've been honest. They didn't have it's not like they were just. I mean, sure, some of them watch and report to other people, blah blah. But the ones they came forward and said, just so you know, I've watched your channel. I've went back and studied everything you said to check out. You are right. She was like, she's like, they don't teach us this, and I was like, I know. I've got friends and family who do this. And so if we work together, we can accomplish more. I try to only deal with quality people who actually produce. And Sean Hadley is definitely one. And so where I was going with it originally was that many people who have used this process are now getting calls, and we'll just say educationally, it's an interesting coincidence that when the audits were done and sent into the correct department, that people are now either being the mortgages are being canceled, or they're signing a non-disclosure agreement and things are happening in the private to remedy any said fraud. So
see, and you nailed it, man. I've done a lot of research on this whole mortgage discharge thing, and it didn't take me very long to get to the point where it occurred to me, you can't just walk into the bank and handle this at the front counter. Number one, they aren't going to know what the heck you're trying to do. Number two, they don't want other people figuring this out, not even their employees, So you got to know exactly who you're going to go speak to, make sure it's done in private. And then, like I say, there's more than one way to skin a cat when it comes to this. I just off the top of my head, I can think of like 3 different ways you could go about this. So like I say, I've not really settled on any one direction or the other. However, I'm very excited to meet this Sean guy you recommend. Just so you know, this might be disclosing too much, but his office is about 10 miles from where I live.
Oh,
so
yeah, go down and say what's up. Tell him the Wolf sent you.
Yeah, he's right here. I'm gonna drop your name because you said so. If that's okay, I'm gonna drop your name and I'm gonna see what he can do for me. But I'll tell you, just reading that document myself with my limited knowledge and research, I think I could probably, if not beat it myself, at least scare the living hell out of them and waste a whole lot of time, them trying to.
I'll tell you this. I have an offline document that I don't sell because until I go through it, and I've had people already offer to buy it from me, until I go through it, I'm not going to stand on something that's not proven.
Right.
It has to fall underneath the guise of or the requirements of being scientifically proven, backwards and forwards, up, down, and all around. So, but in it, it has the court cases, the Supreme Court rulings, all that stuff. It lists a number of different fraud. I show people how to go on Google Scholar and pull these court cases. You can go on Google, and this is how I did it. We'll call this bank Smelly Wargo, okay? And,
strangely familiar, but not quite right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally fictitious entity. And you go on Google and you type in mortgage fraud verse and then that company name, and you'll be surprised what pops up. Yeah, now I put together lists like this before. I included it with the one I already had, and I sent it to them. And all they did was dance around all of the issues. So that's why when I found Sean, and he could do a Bloomberg level auditing, which is where the damaging things, like all the stuff I had before was probably like 40%, not enough bite. And his was the rest, by itself, it's like 80, So we'll just say that particular person happened to have gotten a phone call less than a week from when it was mailed.
Well, this guy I'm speaking about, I believe he has a mortgage with somebody similar to Smelly Wargo. And I believe he's going to go down and see your buddy Sean, because I think I'm going to probably hear a story about similar results for him. So I'm going to go ahead.
Sean's on the up and up. He's a cool guy. I haven't found anything that I can say, against him. And like I said, when I sat down, he told me a story and everything like that about, how he was watched. He was signing off on things, a part of it. He was in the belly of the beast, and he was like, yeah. So when he reached out to me, well, it was kind of a twofold thing. I had done an interview on his channel, and then he kind of reached out to me afterwards. And he was like, just here's inside information about me. You know, I seen you did one on my channel. He's like, could we, you know, possibly collab and get the information out there? I was like, yeah. I was like, you're a freedom fighter. Why would I not? You know, like I said, I'm not in it for the. If I was in it for the money, I would have retired years ago when I had a multi-millionaire literally tell. Well, I won't mention the company name in case they want to keep it quiet, but a very well-known company down south, the guy wanted to buy my company out. I had another multi-millionaire literally want to shut my channel down and just work for him. That's it. He said, I just want you, all the stuff you know how to do. He's like, I want you to do this for me. I've had people try to fly me out to the East Coast, to the West Coast, to just do this for them privately. And I was like, no, I'd like to, everybody who wants this, if they have an ear to listen and it resonates with them, should have it. But don't get me wrong. I've had many people who watch my channel and they're like, I love the information. It's awesome. I looked into it. You're right. But they don't want to live in the private. They're like, no, I'm good.
Some people are happy and some people are happy.
I'm good. And you know what? I'm like, awesome. That's fire. Keep doing, do what you do.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. Some people like being a slave, and that's okay. You know, the world needs every kind of different person, I guess. But you said something. What was I had a brain fart here for a minute. I think I was asking you. I started to ask you about your traveling. That's what it was. But I ended up interrupting you, and I just to come back to it. What's your experience been? Once you corrected your status, you've deregistered your vehicles and pulled everything from the DMV and so on and so forth, and put that plate on your vehicle. Give me your honest, real world. Has it been a total pain in the ass, or are you driving down the road and just fine?
No, I travel down the road.
Down the road. Thank you. Yeah.
No, I'll be honest. It was weird the first couple of days, and then after that, I was like, I kind of lost my fear. But I also knew that I had not from the very first day. The very first day, I didn't have everything right, so I did end up getting a ticket and bothered. Okay. But that wasn't until like 6-7 months of traveling around. Technically, you could say I was still driving because I didn't have everything closed out, so that was on me. Once I remedied that, dealt with the court stuff and whatever else, got that all dismissed, and didn't pay anything because I did it the proper way. Then I went back into. I never stopped traveling. Even after I got that ticket, I went right back into it. You're not going to deny me of my constitutional right, So, I went right back into it. Like, man, I hope it's not going to be always like this. But I lived my life. I just kept going and doing it. So you will get the ones who pull up behind you and try to read it. You'll get the ones who try to. I've had them pull up so close to my vehicle that, like, I thought they were going to hit me. And I thought I was going to have to get out and fight this guy. I was like, I swear to God, if he hits my car, it's going to be bad for him. Probably then bad for me or whatever, but it's going down if you're going to try to do something because, but never hit me, never did anything, but they will definitely pull up behind you. They will try to follow you a little bit to intimidate you. So if I rarely does that happen, but if I do and have seen it, I'll pull over. So can I help you with something? Why are you on my bumper? Why are you why are you tailgating me? Like, you should know the law, right? That's what you guys do. But it hasn't gotten to that point, but I have pulled over just to let them pass by if they're going to be that close, But in general, remember, they have no lawful right to pull you over because you're operating privately.
Sure. Or
just because of your plate. So what they'll do is they'll try to see if your vehicle is out of spec, a light's out, or you didn't use a turn signal, your speeding is usually number one. But I just watched my speed. I'm an older guy now. I don't need to prove anything by ripping around like I used to, So they have no reason to bother me. As long as you don't do that, you're good. Keep your travel binder in there. Don't have anything straw man. Put your vehicle in a private trust. Do not have anything with the zip code on it.
Okay.
Make sure you use the license surrender form for your ID, the revocation or cancellation of the driver's of the registration for the vehicle. Transfer it into a trust. Have a copy of the trust in there, and you are good. They may not like it, but I guarantee you, as much as I can, if you do all those things the right way, you go to court and you send them, your letter. Hey, my vehicle's in the trust. It's private. If you guys can show jurisdiction over a private person, then I'll do it. If not,
Right.
I see your claim, but I can't go into your courts because it's an Article I court. You're legislative, so in order for it to be judicial, you have to take me to the federal district court. I'll see you there. Which, if we're going to go there and you're filing it against me, we'll deal with it. Otherwise, I'll file a counterclaim against you. For $500,000 or more, starting for everything from mail fraud, deprivation of rights, color of law, 241, 242, and list. So, and to be honest, that's what I had to do the last time. And
oh wow!
All that. Like I said, I only had two things ever. I already got bothered or stopped twice, and all of that got taken care of. All of it got dismissed. All of it got discharged because they were like, "Oh, you just send us a bond to pay for it." I'm like, I didn't send you nothing. Now I can get one, or I could make my own, but I was like, nah. You guys have a bond over the court case, so I'm authorizing you to discharge it. So have a good day. Because I know what's going on through subrogation. You know what I mean? So no, I'm nah. Like I said, so and there's I've told many other stories in relation to that, on the various videos. But most of the time during the day, you're not going to get bothered because those are all the OG cops.
Right.
They have seen it. They've been there. They've done that. They've been sued. Some of them lost houses and cars, which once you tell them, the very first thing they're supposed to do is ask you what is your citizenship or your nationality. So they know if they have jurisdiction or not, which is why I have foreign national on the back of my plate, right in the bottom center.
I love your plates, man. Do you sell those, or do you have somebody that makes those?
I still do on occasion, for people here and there. I try to only do it for like older people or who don't really know how to do like the copy paste. But I'll tell you, I use customsigns.com.
Okay.
It's drag, drop, click, boom. Comes in about a week and a half, and it's far cheaper. That's why I don't do the IDs. I was going to start doing IDs and sell them, and I could make money like I was making with plates. But this way, you can customize your own. You know what I mean? Right. And then you feel like you're doing something, and that's where we have to get back to with people in America. You Americans, everybody, you guys have to wake up and realize you are American, and you have to start doing these things properly on your own, so you can teach your kids, your spouse, your significant others, because everything that we're doing, I'm going to say this correctly, everything that's going on are things that we're using their service. Yeah. So from the restaurant to the, all the agencies, everything out there, we're asking, ask is king. Yeah. You're asking the king. They're doing these services for us. They're there for that, but we need to do our own stuff. If we use their stuff, we can't complain about the treatment because they're not, by law, the Constitution does not protect your feelings or you being butthurt about how you got treated. It's, did you get the service or did you not? Shut up and eat your free cheese. Okay, thanks. So, and if you don't like it, then guess what? Go get your own cow. Go get your own churn bucket. Make your own cheese.
Make your own cheese.
So I just want to,
because you hear a lot of stories from people and it seems like they're all this way or all that way, but you have no way to ever verify somebody. So I feel like it was a good time, face to face, person to person, what's your experience been realistically. So I've got a wife and kids. They don't need to, they don't need to be part of all that. If the car gets towed off the side of the road and I'm walking home with an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old and my wife, and that sucks. So
here's the thing though. Well, here's one tidbit, and then I'll let Victor jump in. I want to get him in on this too. Is that, remember, in most, I don't know if it's universally adopted around all the states, but it is known that if you inform them that your vehicle is also your house, it cannot be towed.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
tidbits to know when doing business. So
Gotcha.
Victor, feel free to jump in, share some of your nods. I know you were waiting. I know that look. You're ready to go with knowledge. So we got about 20 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up because we're almost at 3 hours. I've been trying to keep them right around 3. And then but by all means, we will be doing more of these. And guys, I've got so much more fire information, even sitting in my hopper right now, from the passport process to, like I said, I'm still gonna make a video on it by itself. But yeah, the whole what is it? I didn't forgot the name of it here. Let me look at it real quick. The form D4A. Yeah, that was fire knowledge if you know how to apply that. The whole
Form D4A. Okay.
Yep, form D4A. I don't know if you've seen that earlier.
I haven't.
It I popped it on at the beginning. It is a statement where you are confirming that you are not located nor have a residence in the District of Columbia, which according to them, and this is their words, not mine. I'm just going to read it verbatim. So I want to make sure. So I'm accurate. All right, let me get this. I got 3 screens going here. I apologize. So on the instructions, it says if you are not a resident of DC, which is where the taxing comes in at as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, you must file a form called D-4, the letter A, with your employer to establish that you are not subject to DC income tax withholding.
There you go, honey. Yeah, it's like God answers those questions just as they're hitting us in the face. I'm telling you, me and my wife were just talking about this. This is great.
So I show people how to deal with property taxes and personal taxes, all on the channel. All anybody has to do is go to my YouTube channel and you can look it up. You can vet the information. You can talk to your county and see what, this, that, and the other. And I tell people, anybody who's a wolf of mine, treat these people with respect. They are also our fellow nationals. They are the wayward son. They do not know what's going on. They have been bred, groomed, just like all of us, to believe that they are who they've been told to be. The people above them, the same thing with them. The people above them know what's going on, but they keep the management line of secrecy. When I go to the post office, I don't ask to talk to him as the postmaster general here. I need to speak to the highest person, the manager, in private. He comes out. You're so-and-so? Nice to meet you. My name is James, Lovett. I'm the beneficiary to the trust, and I want to speak to you in private, in your private capacity. It's a private consulter chat. Do you understand? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Suddenly you get a whole different demeanor and level of information. I've had people, one of my clients, oh, my Alexa's going all weird. You've said too many keywords, call me, Wolf. I'm at the post office. They said they've never heard of the form 4232, and that's just some YouTube stuff. I said, okay, did you introduce yourself as being a private, natural person of the beneficiary to the trust? No. Do that right now. Tell him you need to speak to the postmaster general. Okay. I said, when he comes out, tell him you are a private, natural person and you want to speak to him privately. She was like, I've never even heard of that form. Same thing at the DMV. I've never even heard of that form. All of a sudden they come out, the person does exactly what I said. All of a sudden the guy's like, oh, you're a private person. Oh yeah, hold on. Sir, I'm really sorry. They are not trained in this. I totally apologize. Can we get your coffee or anything? Here is the proper form. You can take it with you if you want, or I can step you through and working that out. Because when you go there, people don't understand that when you are there until, what do they call it? It's on my property sign. I've got 3 property signs on my house to let them know this is not federal or state property. It's held in a private trust. It's its own micronation. And it says implied license. Implied license means until somebody steps forward or puts a sign on their house or on a plate representing foreign national on their car, their private conveyance under UCC 9-109. I think it's 0.2 now or something like that. You are a taxpayer. You are a trustee. You are a public officer. Period. I can argue it all day with anybody. You are.
Sure.
And because if you're in their waters, now I know what you really are. You know what you are. But when you're dealing with the public trustee, you are a public trustee until you have said that you aren't.
Right.
If we're all walking around Coca-Cola or a Pepsi plant, whatever, and let's say it has franchises all around, some open common areas where regular people who don't work there can come through. But as far as the people who work there, you're in my lane, so you must be part of the company. Okay? Because we're wearing the uniform of a taxpayer. That's what I was trying to get Squirrel to understand, was that your name in all caps in general, it's in Black Law's dictionary. In Latin, it is capitis dimutia maxima. The use of the all caps name is a full or partial loss of rights and freedoms. So, and what did you do? You didn't address yourself. When you go, think about in the old school days, if you go to another man's king, I'm a king, you're a king, Victor's king, and we go to each other's kingdoms, do you just walk up to my guards, knock on the gate and say, hey, yeah, I'm a king, here to see James, you know, want to hang out? No, you send a declaration. You send a letter, a formal letter. You send a herald in front of you, just so you know. Lord Victor Von Doom V is making his approach. Okay, great. Now we know to treat Victor different. This is what people don't understand. That's the reason why they're having problems, or they're trying to shortcut my process. Yeah, I'm Captain Shortcut. So my mom always said before she passed, she's like, "Oh, you're always looking for the shortest way." Yeah, why not? That makes total sense. Why do I want to stand in the line with the rest of the rubes when I don't feel like I'm a rube? I feel like I am a king. So
that's
I'm
right.
King. The burden, if you say I'm not a king, the burden of proof is on you. Prove to me I'm not.
Right.
Yep.
But if you don't address it and bring it up like that, then you are a rube. So go get in the back of the line, citizen.
You got to step forward and claim it. You got to step forward and claim it. Otherwise, they're just going to assume that you're just a slave servant employee of the corporation.
Right.
So
go ahead, Victor. I want to give you the floor for the last 15, 20 minutes here, and then we will close it out.
Yeah. Again, I totally agree. And you see it in common life. If you've ever had to call ahead of time, or if you've spoken with an agent and you said, oh, well, they say, well, okay, well, you know what we can do? You just come in tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I'll be at the desk, and you come in, and as soon as I see you, you just come on. Don't worry about anything else. And then you go and you see that it's crowded. You know, they got a lot of clientele, and you're like, oh man, I have to wait. And they're like, no, let him through. And I'm like, I'm here to see. And then everybody else is looking at you like, who are you? And you go straight past everybody else. Okay. And they're like, what is, and you don't think about it, like, well, this was an arrangement I made yesterday. Okay. Well, this is the kind of presence that can I say the naughty word, please? Please, can I say it? This is what a sovereign does. Okay. It's simply that your affairs are already arranged. You're a king of your own right, whether you're a king by way of the Lord, king by way of the goddess, by way of your own sovereign standing, whatever it is that carries your authority. It already reaches these serviles. It already takes care of things, for you. So again, I have made phone calls, and my process is not totally complete, but I called. There's a deer in the road, injured, and it was late night. I was leaving the gym, and I said, okay, well, I don't want anyone to get hurt by hitting this deer. So I stopped the car, put my lights on, and I called the police station of that area. And I tell them where it is, and I look at the nearest address, and I say, it just at this house. It's crawling toward the house, so it'll be at this address. And I said, should I wait for an officer? And they said, no, Victor, there will be an officer there as soon as possible. And I'm like, wait a minute. How do they know who I was? And I found that they have they keep a record, because my wife and I are not we don't hesitate on calling for anything.
Right.
You know, I had my experiences with the police years ago. I've dealt with them. I've dealt with the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I do know that you are a needed instrument of this society. You are a service to this society, and I'm going to treat you as such. I'm going to carry that. Like Wolf said, it's just business.
Right.
It's all business, and people don't understand that. So everyone listening to this, it's true. It's true when you're driving around there, or when you're driving or traveling. It doesn't matter what you're doing, because some of you will drive. And no matter what you're doing, you will look at numbers, addresses, street names. Everything will be different to you. You don't walk the same anymore. Even movies, you won't watch. Nothing you do, you won't be understood by anyone, not friends, relatives, unless they're traveling this same path.
I agree.
And this is something, again, Wolf has provided. Like, there's times when I'm on the road. Are you guys still there? You went dark.
Yeah, we're still here. You froze, but we're still.
Okay, I'll keep going. There's times I'm traveling and I'm listening, and I will hear something I was just thinking, and you'll answer it. And so because of this, I know that there's something more to this. There's a spiritual element to this.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. It's weird.
And
I mean,
even the police, they know it.
Right.
Well, see,
A6 has mentioned this.
The elites, they've been referring to this as the Great Awakening. And they knew before we even knew what was going on, this was coming to an end. And
right.
The short version is, and I'll turn it back over to you, Victor, is that they are in the know that things are changing. They now know who's really in control on many levels. And we are going, and I don't say this, and you can take it how you want to. I'll just put it that way. We are witnessing what's going on. So whether you want to say we are witnesses or watchers, but we're about to see something, and the bell has been rung, and that which has been rung cannot be unheard.
Right.
This will not be going back into the box.
No.
And
even your name, you chose Wolf.
No.
You didn't choose that for nothing.
I think it chose me in all actuality. It just
there
kept popping up. Like, if you asked me, I would have, if I had a choice. The universe works through people mysteriously, and if I had a choice, I would have called myself like Little Dragon or something. But Wolf just kept popping up, and I was like, all right, I'll run with it for the YouTube channel just because have a little fun with it. But it ain't gonna catch. No one's actually gonna call me the wolf or the bad wolf, or now the girls are calling me Wolfie. But it's like I said, this was not the only reason why I'm here. If you wanted me to be honest, I feel like it's a type of divine intervention. This was not something I planned on doing. I tried to run from it. I did. You want to know what I was really trying to do? Back when I was 19, I started learning stuff. I was trying to own a nightclub. I was in the bars and nightclubs. I knew all the owners. I was VIP. I was dropping thousands of dollars a week, easy. And every time I got close to getting one and setting up, talking with investors, something always pulled out. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't do it with that partner, or I didn't take his money. And then all of a sudden something would happen where it was like, light was like, but here's a speeding ticket. And I'm like, well, that's not a gift, God. why are you giving me a speeding ticket? You know, like him giving, here's a lemon tree. Ah, lemons. But it's what that I didn't know to take that and turn it into something. So
Right.
God just kind of put his hand on my little bottom, was like, yep, come on, let's go. Here you go. And then suddenly I was like in the courtroom, nervous, dressed like a lawyer, ready to go. Like, you know what? I'm not paying this ticket. You know I wasn't speeding. I am going to fight this. And that was my first case. And that was after 2 months of studying this, and I beat the prosecutor. You know,
Now, is that the story where they asked you if you wanted to join them, or is that the same story?
that was the first one. That was the one where the blood was in the water. And if the judge never would have said, we would like to have you on our side, I wouldn't have thought much of it. I would have walked out like, I made it. And this would never have happened. So that was, he was one of the first ones. The post office worker, when I filled out the DS-11 and I asked him about the box that said state citizen and then the one that said U.S. citizen, I was like, what's a state citizen? You know, and he broke some of the information down. That was the second highlight. But the initial one, God rest his soul, was my scoutmaster, Leonard C. Brody. And when he seen me saluting what I thought was the American flag, but it's the corporate flag of the United States Foreign Corporation located in Washington, D.C., under location of the debtor. It was then that he said, very angrily, don't salute that flag. Now, he was a retired person in the military, so he knew all these little secrets.
Right.
He's like, that's not a, what is it? I always screw this up. Not article, but section 1 article, or section 1 title 4 flag.
Yeah, title 4 flag.
The true flag of the United States.
Right.
And he was like, see those gold fringes, see this and that, and la la la. And I mean, I was 9, you know, but that's when it got started. That's when I was like, well, I don't know what all of he's saying, but I'm gonna learn it because this is one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he's never, you know, so he was that passionate about it. But those were the 3 incidences that, you know, things along the way guided me, but those were the 3 that made the wolf be born, if you will.
Yeah.
That's incredible because court's scary. I can't believe you did that well.
Yeah, I literally studied every court case, everything that I could get in their jurisdiction that I could use to represent myself. And when I told the prosecutor that in the hallway, he met me in the hallway. He was like, "Oh, we're going to speed up the cases for the judge. I want to know how everybody's going to plead." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to plead. That perfects the jurisdiction." I was like, "I'm going to challenge that, and I'm going to challenge the ticket." And I was like, and I said, "I'm going to get it dismissed." And I didn't know he was the prosecutor. I didn't know this was the person I'm going against. So he actually laughed at me. He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, okay, Mr. Lovett." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll see." I didn't realize I was talking to, you know, Satan's right-hand man here, you know. So when I realized that, he's like, "Okay, you know what?" He's like, "Humor me. Let's go at it, you and me right now." And I was like, oh shit, you know, not, stuff, you know. So I was like, all right, let's go, you know. And so we went back and forth, and at the end of it, he said, "Well done, Mr. Lovett." He's like, "I can't beat that. I can't do that." But I used things that you can use: the road, the time of day on the road, the officer's competency, the were they properly trained, the gun being calibrated, the national highway reports on the road, how many other accidents have been there, your speedometer, did he do it visually, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I had all of that written down. And like I said, but it wasn't until I got to a couple of key points and he was like, yeah. And he didn't want me going in there telling people, giving them hope on how to get out of tickets and that you can get out of tickets, you know. And the biggest part is that if I would have done that, it would have been an embarrassment to their business, to their commerce, which is bad business. And then they would have to, on the spot, pay for the court time. That's why they don't want you in there. They don't want that. So when I learned all of this, it was like, whoa. And so I tried to give this away and nobody wanted to listen. And, you know, and that's why I was like, I had to reverse engineer my own plans. I said, instead of trying to give this away, because much like a Kung Fu master in the old TV shows or video or movies, the master doesn't go looking for students. The students come looking for the master when they're ready.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, let me put this on YouTube. But if you watch my first videos, I was just trying to show people how to do business. I wanted everybody to get a business. And then the passport stuff was a side thing. And that's what launched the channel. I had nationals across the United States sending me their information, their explanatory statements, how I should do it, teaching me in the back. And they were like, we don't want to, we're private. We don't want to be on that. We just over here, but we like what you're doing and we will support you. And all these people came forward. They're like, if you need something, call me. I make things happen. I can do this in the private. I've got this in the private. One guy was like, I've got plates. The original first plates you could get on a vehicle, private, family owned, this particular individual had. I didn't even know it was a thing. He's like, oh yeah, they're in the family. He's like, those are ours. We owned those. I'm like, what? So there's people doing some amazing things, and I'm very blessed by people like you and other people out there, other nationals, all of you guys watching. I've had agencies reach out to me hey, how are you doing that? Okay, cool, all right. Or people who are into agencies. Here's a little something. Here's how we can help. What are you trying? Where do you want to take this? You know, I'm like, oh no, I'm not trying to do all that. Just, you know, local guy down. I'm not trying to be Mr. Big. Just those people who want to hear. Here it is.
Yeah.
You know,
it comes through, Wolf, and a lot of people are really going to relate to you. I think your channel is going to blow up. I really do.
To me, it's already amazing. I've had this channel since 2014, but I didn't do much with it at first. And then when I first got it going, I went a little hard to paint, and they had to remind me that some business should not be talked about in the public. And so they got to know me and know them. And now I handle myself accordingly, you know, because they're right. They were right. There are things that are public matters. There's things that are private matters. So now that I know how to do business the proper way, not to say that they probably still don't watch the channel. I know they do, and monitoring things, but I don't interfere with their business on that level. And I conduct myself appropriately for either the status or standing that I'm in at the time. And so we know we're good. Like I said, I haven't been bothered. So,
Victor, thank you for bringing up that spirituality comment. That was probably the smartest thing I've heard all night, and you are right about that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that. So,
the other thing I want to say, you know, to bring more support to the Lord of Levitica is just that. You know, he's not just some guy on YouTube. To my knowledge, you are Lord of your own nation. And from one Lord to another, remind you that the universe might still be patting you on your tushy, telling you you need to get into larger boots.
And you know, that was part of a conversation earlier with a high roller and a pupil of said high roller and other ones, that things I thought this was the pinnacle, and I found out that I am on the stairway. I thought I was already in the kingdom. Well, yeah, you crossed the kingdom line, but you're on the stairs. And now, if you want to get through the gates, I'm like, I just came here to sell tomatoes. I thought I was just a good time in the front of the building. I didn't know I got to go in. And they're like, no. When you're ready, you'll turn around and realize you're in your own kingdom with a kingdom of kingdoms, we'll just say.
Yeah.
That's all I will say for right now, due to
that's all that you need to say.
But
that's all you
yeah.
need to say.
So
yeah,
people out there, they're like, oh yeah, we here's some next level things that, and these people are there. I'm blessed that they found me, and they're like, that's somebody we want on the team to privy me to certain things. But they're out there doing some stuff. I have only recently been like, what bigger could I do? Not that I'll probably go there because I'm happy in my little, my little nation here. It's doing thing. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that'd be interesting. And I kind of stepped out and mentioned a little bit of it in another video. I drop a lot of gems that unless you listen to it and research, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. Certain things are in between the lines. And then I had these people in the Zoom go, so this is what we're doing. And then they're like, we heard you're kind of doing something along the same lines. This is where we're at. This is how we can help you, but this is how you can help us. And I'm like a little girl in a gift shop. I can help you. Sweet. Let's good. Let's go. Hey, let's check it out. Let me fix my hair. So it's just amazing that we're bringing something so positive, together with everybody, and everybody is positive. We get one or two trolls here and there, but in general, everybody's like really positive on board. And even the person I was talking to earlier, I'll give you tidbits. This person is doing things to help restore de jure aspects of America.
Okay.
And that is huge. And let's just say this. I'll give you another piece. They have contacted all of the key entities.
Yep.
And they're on board.
I know about this. I heard about this.
That is when it gets amazing. Holy wow.
And they were told to accelerate, I think, what they're doing, if I'm not wrong.
That sounds like you might be privy to the same information. And let's just say the last piece I'll give you is that if the things that are in the works continue, which I'm 90% sure they will, they were told by a certain faction that the government will be providing assistance to ensure everything is on the right and people are protected. Wow. And there's so much more. I can't say it right now, but just
that's how you end a podcast.
It's exciting. All I will say is you guys really see me excited, but let me tell you this. I was like, when they were dropping it, very few things can people drop on me that I'm like, whoa. And I was like, I'm taking notes. I'm like,
I'm jazzed up. I just heard.
So just know this, that way more impressive and powerful things are coming for the betterment of those people who seek to be in the private or the de jure America as a national of the United States under the Constitution for the United States of America. It's on the way. All you guys got to do is be patient, and trust me, you guys are all going to want to be a part of what's going on. At least I know my subscribers are going to.
Right on.
And with that being said, I will let you guys close out with your information, and then I'll finish last. We'll start with Ben, then Victor, then me. and we're gonna wrap it up. And we will talk again whenever we do another live, which will probably be next week. I've got people who want to come on and talk about adverse possession and discharging and some other things. And then I've got either next week or the week after, we're going to finish up with the passport process. We're going to disclose the final pieces that I think people will find interesting. And we're going to, everything we've learned from day one, we're going to cram into that live. I'm just going to make it a live. And I may not get to the comments, but I'll try to field a couple here and there, but it's definitely going to be about the passport process and from A, B to C. Yeah, so we're just going to cover it. So anyway, Ben, thank you. Victor, thank you. Ben, say your backouts, Victor, and then I'll finish it up. And I wish everybody a great night, and let's get it rolling.
I just want to say God bless you, Wolf, for what you do. I'm so thankful that I was directed to your YouTube channel and your website I've got open over here. I have to agree with Victor. He probably said the most profound thing all night when he brought up the I wrote it down here, the spiritual element, because you are absolutely right, Victor. And I think above all, there's a lot of exciting things going on with taking your freedom back and discharging debt and living in the private. But you know what? None of that exists. And foremost, we need to remember none of that exists without God. And the spiritual element of that, and I choose to call him God, maybe some other people choose to call it, but whatever your higher source is.
Right. Whatever deity you have faith in.
Right. So not to offend anybody, but there is a spiritual element to this. And anybody that's began their awakening in the last few years, or even earlier than that, knows exactly what you were talking about, Victor. So thank you. That really resonated with me. And Wolf, there ain't enough time left for me to say enough for you. So
thank you, brother.
We'll
from the bottom of my heart, from one celestial or divine being sold to another. And never forget, guys, like, whatever God or deity entity, positive one, hopefully, but if not, hey, whatever works for you, that you believe in, may they guide you. And no matter who's against you, may they not prosper. So, but remember, we are all energy beings, whether some might be light beings, some might be more dark beings, whatever it is, we're still entities that were given an immense amount of power. And here we are willing our bodies, because remember, even our bodies are vessels.
That's right.
And we're doing business under vessels. Even the planet Earth is a vessel. Navigating, we're all navigating the sea of space-time together.
Exactly.
So, but by all means, Ben, I didn't mean to jump in. Finish up, and then we'll give it to Victor.
No, I'm good. I've said enough, and I do want to say I'm sorry. I'm just like the kid in the candy store that got free access for the first time. So I apologize about taking the floor for so long, Victor.
No, it's all good. Hey, nobody else really jumped in. And,
I still candy too. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me here, and the spiritual aspect. I'm glad that I could be of use to you with that statement.
Yeah.
I do have one question before I continue, and that was about the revocation of the license. I'd like to cut my image out of the license before I send in the rest of it. Can I do that, or would you suggest I just give them my image?
I've heard that a number of people have been successful more times than not. And here's the thing: a lot of people don't know this knowledge, never heard of it, so they didn't know to do it. But if you claim that under your particular religion, by religious freedom, that your image should not be utilized, you will get an ID with no image.
I mean, when I revoke it, to send it back. When I just want to be done with it. I wanted to cut my image out.
Remember, you own that, so yes, you can take it out.
Okay, that's it. Yeah,
you own your image.
Right.
And you're
That's all
returning the
yeah.
license, but you never sign anything to sign your image over to them for all of eternity and perpetuity.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So remove it.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
Same
So,
thing with your signature. It's
right.
it's your property. If you know how to utilize that information. Once again, this is all entertainment. Vet your own information as always. Vet mine. But yes, if anything that we submit, we're to meet under, and to mitigate, submit. You are giving something to them, but where did the power and the authority for them to have it come from? You.
Me.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means you can take it back. You didn't, unless you gave away something free that you didn't want, that wasn't yours. Doesn't
Right.
represent you,
yeah.
not part of your nation, doesn't have your name or your crest, or then they can keep it. The law, what is it? Found goods or salvage, as they say on the sea. If it's salvage,
Yeah.
but you didn't submit salvage. You submitted personal property under the guise of obtaining something that was a license that you didn't need. You thought you needed it. So they didn't necessarily defraud or fraud you or anything like that, but they have no obligation to tell you about your freedoms or your rights.
Exactly.
So we came, that's why I tried to tell people like earlier, oh, they fraud, it's fraud. You got to get that out of your mind. It's only fraud if you try to get out of it and they won't let you out. It's fraud if you ask them all the appropriate questions, which nobody does.
Right.
We assumed, and they have no legal obligation to tell you your rights or freedoms, nor does your feeling. One of the biggest things I freaking can't stand on Facebook, whatever else. Most of the people on Facebook, they don't know my channel or any of this stuff. So when I post stuff, because I have a different name on there, they're just like, well, I feel some kind of way. Feeling does not come into law at all.
No.
You hurt my feelings, or I feel some kind of way. That is something lost at sea. None of that comes into what's fact.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, then when I say, like, just one quick thing. So one of my cousin, his name is Brian. He's got a master. Guy is a Wing Chun expert. I give him his dues. It's awesome. He's fire. I've been studying it for years. I'm not necessarily an expert, but I'm pretty dang good at it. So I like to follow them and see what's going on. And this guy was like, and I got my cousin Brian into learning this info. We're talking about how and I don't want to use certain words, but the water supply has a certain additive put in there. And I said, well, look what that did over in said country with the said people, and how it was used to make their bones brittle and keep them docile and, whatever. And the master jumps in, no, that's not true. And this and that. And they don't put that in the water supply here. And this and that. I was like, so obviously you didn't read your history on this, which I have thoroughly. I've gone to the FDA website for toxicology and whatever else this is exposure to this does this. Then I sent them went to the website for the city where it says, yes, we put this amount in here. And it's also in certain toothpaste and whatever else. And I said, now, how can you be a master of Wing Chun, something you know about, but you're not a master of this and think you can talk about it when I'm a master, if you will. I usually don't do that, but in this case, I'm throwing the belt on of this, but you feel some way. And I said, well, what if I were to say Wing Chun is weak? You have limitations. And it does. I do love it. And I've studied it. Hence why I know there are limitations. And I know where they are. And I know how to make them better. And he got all offended. He said, well, you where did you study? Who's your master? I said, I'm self-taught. Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Really? Well, it sounds like you're self-taught in this instantly, like overnight, because of how you feel.
Right.
The difference is I've read books by Sifu Ip Man and Bruce Lee. So I'm more of a master in that than you would think. And I study this stuff even more than that. But you feel some, I
Right.
feel some kind of way, and you know it all. And I know you're wrong because I don't know it all. But what I do know, the bits I do give you are fact.
Yeah.
You know, so then he was quiet, you know. And see, the thing is I don't necessarily take the time to try to do that normally. It just, he irked me as somebody who's a master who should know that by any real master, you have to master your mind, master your ego first,
Right.
master
Right.
your soul, master
Right.
your outlook, master not being so quick to be judgmental, to feel some kind of way and
Right.
act on it. So I'm like, really, what kind of master are you? So you can fight, but you're not a master of one's own self or one's environment, which was
Right.
the first thing my first master taught me. So he got quiet. I let it go. My guy was like, my cousin was like, killed him. So
Right.
that's all I try to convey to people is that you have to be a master of yourself, which means all of the selves, your higher
Right.
self, your big self, your mental self, your soul, your body, you know, and you'd be amazed when you start studying those things, what you can accomplish by learning that your physical vessel, you can do a lot of amazing things with your body.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Not
know,
only-
you can dang near control everything, and you know, but that's more so for my other channel, which is the Bad Wolf Media channel, which is also on YouTube. It's got a small following, so if you guys want to join, great.
Yeah.
Say that name again, Wolf. Say that name again.
The Bad Wolf Media channel.
Okay.
That's where I'm going to talk more about open things, you know, aliens, ghosts, spirits, the body, you know, whatever. We're going to bring it all to the table. This channel is more laser cut for this, but that channel, I'm going to open all the way up because if you haven't seen here, that's some of my book collection over there. So I've been studying this stuff for years. Even my old roommate stopped in just to say what's up. He was like, I didn't know you had all those books. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, this is all I do, bro. So like some people are sports scores and whatever else. That's how I am with the Bible, the Quran, contracts for dummies, cooking, food, Lost Symbol, Dan Brown, the pyramids, Atlantis. I do all that stuff. So it's not even just this stuff that I do on this level. I look at all of it. There's pretty much no avenue that you can talk. You're not going to snow me on any topic whatsoever.
Right.
At all. I was reading encyclopedias and dictionaries for fun because I really didn't have a whole lot of friends as a kid, probably because I was a nerd.
Yeah.
But my mom wanted to feed my brain, and my brain, powered by my soul, wanted to know how every single thing worked. Why the color is that color? Mm-hmm. What is refraction? What is quantum mechanics? How does the body work? All that stuff. What does each organ do? What could I ever be immortal? If so, what would I need to ingest or submit my, like I literally to this day still study all those things.
Wow. You are we must be from the same tribe somewhere, because I would do that. I would get in trouble in school on purpose so that I could get sent to the library where I could then delve into the books because the class was boring. And I too would read quantum mechanics. There was Carl Sagan books everywhere. Nobody read them. Okay. So I was into that and just gobbling up history, the Eddas of the Viking, history, just everything that I could grab. And then, yeah, basically that was it,
Welcome.
So,
Nerds Unite.
Yes.
We can form a Nerdtron.
There we go. And you know what? I said Bad Wolf. Why is it familiar? And then you were talking about the trust, and you said, what if I call it the TARDIS? I was like, okay, come on. All right. I know who he is. I know who we got here. We got a Hoovie in here. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually had a made TARDIS in my basement. The
Wow.
pump room is a perfect TARDIS. And I
Okay.
used to have tons of people coming over all the time just to look at like, are you the guy with the TARDIS in the basement? I was like, yeah. They're like, can we see it? I'm like, there's nothing inside of it. It's just a sump room, but it is made to be. I mean, I had the windows, the emergency sticker signs, all that
Right.
stuff. You know.
Yeah, I built a small one, little tabletop version.
Okay, I've seen some people make public book offerings, on the lawn, like
Right.
on a post, stuff like that. So
Right.
but all right, guys, that is it. Thank you. I think actually this is officially the longest video we've done for a live, 3 hours and 20 minutes. So we broke that record. So all I see is positive things moving forward. So may you guys all be protected by positive energy, you, your families, everything you guys are. Continue to do what you're doing. Can't stop, won't stop. Know that we are all in this together.
Yes.
Nobody's ever alone. If you can't find, like I'm on Telegram under Bad Wolf Unincorporated. If you can't find I'm on like probably 5 or 6 other Facebook groups. You can't find a group, then make a group. Be the group. Go on Facebook. Go on Telegram. Create your own YouTube channel. Call it the Republic of Montana Nationals, National United States, whatever it is, do it. You don't have to have all the knowledge. You don't have to be a master guru or a big time nerd or this, that. Create it.
There you go.
Be a blade of grass and stand with the rest of us doing these things. And you know what? You'll find that other people will jump on. They will find you because they're looking forward to in your state.
Right.
This is not going back in the box. There's no out there. The powers that be already know there's no outcome where they win. And this is no disrespect to them because they are providing a service. Not all of them are bad. But there's no scenario where this goes back in the box.
Right.
And so everybody needs to find a group, find somebody to watch, vet the information, open your group up. Let other people go in there. They will, if you build it, they will come and they will bring the information. This is what I learned. I'm so glad that I can connect with somebody in my area, my this, my that. And I've been toying with the idea of creating like on Black Site 32, a page where if people are in Florida, they can click Florida and then see all the groups that have, said, hey, we'll put it out there. This is our group, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. Like I said, we're not done. I thought, I'm not going to say I was about ready to wrap it up, but I was like, well, starting to run out of books, and not that we could ever really be done, but then I was going to spend more time on the other channel talking about a wide variety of different things. So what's coming this way is we still have now that I've been put on to more things, the Wolf has a whole lot more things coming. And I haven't even cracked into certain things yet. And we're going to start doing seminars where I'm going to bring on people who want to talk about various things, trusts or court experience, how to deal with court, how to create your own micronation. We're going to have people who want that information when it's not ready. Excuse me, not ready yet. But you'll be able to go to blacksite32.com. There's a page that says seminars. You click it and you'll be able to see which dates and times seminars are going to be open. It'll be anywhere from 100 people will be able to get into each one. Don't worry. We'll repeat a lot of them the next month so everybody can get in. I might open it up to 300, but for right now, we just want to test the water. So it'll be first come, first serve on that. And that's how we're going to move it. So if anybody has, anything they want to share, feel free to share it in the groups on here when you're invited. But just take care of yourselves. Get your, you can, how should I say? You will never stop learning. So never, ever put yourself in a position where you think you've learned it all and you have become this master. Always stay humble. Otherwise, the universe will find a way to humble you.
That's for sure.
And everybody has a light inside of them, whether you want to call it the light of God. I reference it like this. The universe is God, and it's conscious, and it is energy. And if you want to go into the Bible, it does say that I knew you before you knew yourself. So from my perspective and my particular esoteric type of faith, it is, if you take a glass and you go to the ocean and you scoop that ocean water out and you look at it and you set it on the table, what have you done? You've scooped up a piece of the ocean and it's now in a small container. But is it small power that's in the container? No. Is there still an energy connection to it? Yes. So if you use that to reference us, we have a piece of the creator of the universe. Our energy has been around since the beginning of this universe or time itself, however you want to look at it. What you do with that power is up to you. We are not angels, if you want to go into that, where these are our set orders. We have the ability to do right, we have the ability to do wrong, and we have the ability to repent for the bad we have done and to live a better life every day. So do not be so hard on yourself for not getting it perfect. You were never meant to be perfect in this world. You have a perfect being entity inside of you in an imperfect world where you can wield it. Take your vessel where you need to go, have your adventures, be happy about the happy, sad about the sad. If you repent from the bad or however you get down, whatever you believe in, that's awesome. Treat people how you want to be treated. But the light in you, use it to guide not only your way, but you'll find that if you raise it a little bit higher and you look back, there's going to be a lot of people behind you following you. And if you can get them to raise their light, now we are a sun of energy. God created, God sent, universe sent, whatever you believe in. Convert the words into how you feel and see fit. You get where I'm going with it, is that you are a powerful being, an entity with light within you. Use it. So that being said, I want to let everybody know, have a great night, a great year. Blessings to everybody. And just keep doing what you're doing. You know, you're not going to get it right all the time, but nobody ever told you you were going to. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to doubt yourself. That's okay. You're not an angel. Angels have to get it right. We don't. So take care. Stay wise, stay woke, stay warm, stay aware. And I am out. The Bad Wolf will talk to you guys all later. Have a great night. Thank you for being a part of this tonight, but even more so, the bigger picture. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is our world. This is our time. Let's rock it. Let's enjoy it. Let's go get it.
All right.
Let's make it. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. So take care of each other and especially love yourselves. Okay. So that's it. Good night. Bad Wolf's over and out.
Good night.
Thank you.